on the eve of the AFC Championship, aka the First Things First Bowl. In this, not really a corner, just an oblong desk, Chiefs fan and reigning Super Bowl champion, Nick Wright. And the challenger from Ohio and Iowa and Louisiana. He'll go to your house and eat a sandwich and not let you have any. He waves the pom-poms for no land. It's Resort.
He gets the protection. He goes long and on his back to ice it. Yep, he's heading back to the Super Bowl for the 4th time in 5 years.
Was there ever a doubt? They said, make us the biggest and best sandwich you've ever seen. Oh, I've got a sandwich befitting the evening.
Wait, what?
Because that's what they did, Brew.
You have to beat the champs week 1 or your season's over.
But it looks like that toe's on the line, Terry.
I agree completely. The right toe's on the line. It's out of bounds. This is going to be reversed to an incomplete pass.
Oh, my goodness.
Live from New York, it's the show that's preparing you for one of the most ridiculous 20 minutes that we've ever done and you've ever seen.
Which leads us to, it snuck up on us, KW. First Things First Bowl 3. Week 4. Baltimore and Kansas City.
Season's on the line.
I'm telling you, what if Baltimore loses tonight? 2 1-2 teams coming to Kansas City, desperate for a win. First Things First Bowl 3.
Live from New York. Oh, we're on the eve of one of the biggest moments in show history. It's not the rematch. What do they call that? The triumvirate?
The triumvirate.
Not the triumvirate. You've had all day to figure this out.
Triple, I don't know.
Brew, you're a boxing trilogy.
Trilogy. There you go. The trilogy. There you go.
I don't know. Triumvirate, triple.
I don't know.
You know what I learned from that montage?
What?
I'm due. The Ravens are due, baby. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Alongside Nick Wright, I'm Kevin Wilds. Chris Broussard is due. We're starting with First Things First Bowl 3. Lamar versus Patrick. Ravens versus Chiefs. Derrick Henry versus Spags and holding on to the ball. DeAndre Hopkins revenge game. No one's mentioned that once. Xavier Worthy's return. Here's Lamar Jackson. There's no SOT. So we're just going to, here's Lamar Jackson on the ground. Okay? Career head-to-head. Lamar is down 1-5. What would another loss to Mahomes mean for Lamar Jackson?
From Lamar's perspective, if that happens, nothing. That is how he has to look at it.
Oh.
He has to be like, tough loss. We're not playing well. We got to get our act together. On to the next one, which is Houston. That's how he'd have to look at it.
Okay.
He also might have to go 0 dark 30, like LeBron James. Because that means turning off social media, listening to music instead of sports talk radio in your car if he doesn't already, and no TV. Because
he can still listen to Marlon Humphrey's podcast, right? Of course.
Well, maybe Marlon.
Okay,
maybe
that's
Marlon. Ravens,
okay,
yes,
right.
a positive teammate.
Right.
But if he loses this, and I mean it, like he has to just move on. He has to be like, look, he's saying all the right things. We'll see if he really feels that way. But every TV show, obviously this one with Nick, but others, it's going to be he's 1-6 against Mahomes. He's seemingly conquered everyone. You can throw in Josh Allen, I guess, but, except Mahomes. Even in a year where they look like the better team or more talented, KC's struggling, he couldn't beat Mahomes. Lamar is phenomenal in the regular season, been better than Mahomes the last 2 or 3 regular seasons, including this one, but can't beat him. Like, he would really have to just ignore all of that. So if they meet again, or any big game really, he will not have that stuff in his head. So that it's a lot at stake, but he's going to have to ignore it if he were to lose it.
All right, it took us to Friday, And the rest of the media, it's taken them, maybe it'll take them until Monday. But I didn't know we were allowed to look at this game from this perspective. Because not just this show, every show it has been, what would it mean if the Chiefs fell to 1-3? And of course the Ravens will be fine. And I'm glad we're doing it because here's the reality. If the Chiefs lose, while, listen, I'll still believe they can be dangerous. Let's just say they lose, and you fast forward, they're 7-10, and they miss the playoffs. You know what I mean? Let's just that what we have seen this first month is who they are. Then what that means is, you know what? It was the second greatest prolonged stretch in the history of the league. They're not going to catch the Patriots 8 straight conference championship games. It is a dip, and they have to actually retool a bit. But that's it. It will just mean they won't surpass the Patriots for the greatest consistent prolonged stretch in football history.
Right.
If the Ravens fall to 1-3, and it's not a fluke, and it's not a blip, it's that, they're actually not going to have a good year. They are the team that is going to go 7-10 and miss the playoffs. Folks are losing their jobs. We are talking about how Lamar has had this amazing opportunity when he is at the peak of his powers, and yet he still can't beat Patrick. Josh won an MVP last year, and his team looks like, potentially the 1 seed. And all of a sudden, did the Chargers come up and become, become the next team in the conference? The Ravens have so much at stake this game and this season. And that's the team. Lamar individually is staring dead at unprecedented owning by one great player for another. Like, Patrick has the greatest head-to-head record against another great quarterback in the playoffs of any 2 quarterbacks in history over Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And he currently has as good of a head-to-head record from 2 great quarterbacks other than Tom Brady, Matt Ryan. And with respect to Matt Ryan, he's not, even though he won an MVP, he's not Lamar. He would own them both in very different ways. And Lamar would be staring at that. So Brew's right. He would have to ignore all of it, but you can't turn off your own thoughts. Like, if Lamar loses this game, why would he think he'll win the next one? Like
that's where you don't know what the individual is like, because we can sit here and try to play psychoanalysis and all that and think it's in his head, and maybe it will be. Some players are able to overlook that stuff. I mean, sometimes you just got to overcome. Obviously, LeBron had his issues earlier, Dallas and all that, and he overcame it. That's similar to what Lamar. It's not the NBA Finals / Super Bowl, but still, he would have to really do some soul searching and overcome that to get to the next level where he wants to be.
Would you feel the same way if Lamar plays amazing? Like his losses against Buffalo and Detroit, he had a passer rating of 144 and 148. First QB with 140 or more rating in 2 losses in the season. It's already happened.
I think it would help him. I think if he goes out, because in these losses, though, he's made, it's a fumble, it's an interception.
So not the regular season losses to Buffalo and Detroit. You're talking about
I'm talking about with the Chiefs.
Yes.
Like, even last year against Buffalo in the playoffs, like, he played well after making the big fumble.
Yeah, he had mistakes.
So, like, if he plays a clean game and it's great, even better than he was against Detroit where he's not getting sacked. Let's say you take away the sacks.
Okay.
That'll help him, because then he can really be like I'm over it myself. I know he won't blame his teammates,
help him.
But help him.
I don't know that helps John Harbaugh. Like, that's the point that I'm trying to make.
That you think Harbaugh's, if things go south, you think
if the Ravens were to miss the playoffs, John Harbaugh is going to be fired.
But you don't think there's any chance? I mean, we're not talking about missing the playoffs.
No, but if
they lose this game.
No. Nothing's going to happen. The Ravens aren't going to make any real changes during the regular season. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, if they make the playoffs and lose in round 1, John Harbaugh's going to be fired. Oh, I think. You know what I mean? I think
they'll move him up in the organization or something like that.
Lamar, especially if it's what you're describing. Lamar's great, and they lose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can't.
You will, and I don't know that Harbaugh would get fired. Maybe they, that's an organization, they might move him up and consultant, whatever. But if they go out early, like unceremoniously in the playoffs this year, give him some truth serum. And I kind of think even John Harbaugh might feel like it's time for a change.
So that's
not that he can't coach, he's not a great coach, but it's just time for a new voice. How many times are you gonna run this back?
Danny made the point yesterday of if the Ravens lose because of the division they're in, even if they're not good, they'll be fine for the playoffs. I just want to hone in on that for a moment, then I want to go back to the Lamar stuff. Being the 4 seed in the AFC this year, which is what we're talking about. Even if the Ravens are 1-3 and bad, like 9 wins the AFC North, being the 4 seed in the AFC this year is no prize because that means you are almost assuredly playing in round 1. Like, let's say the Chiefs win, the Ravens lose. The Chiefs are the Chargers. You know what I mean? The best wild card team. Like, that's not for a team that is as S-Bob as any team in recent memory. Them and the Bills are like, you know what I mean? Basically the tied for that. It being like, okay, we backed into the playoffs and then are facing a gauntlet the whole way. And this is why I think Brew's right that Lamar's going to have to turn off the noise. But if Patrick wins this game, this is what it already looks like. And we'll kind of go in descending order. Multiple-time MVP against multiple-time MVP. Currently, Patrick's record over Lamar trumps everybody's by a lot. All right, well, that's a hard standard. What about just MVP versus MVP? Where does it fall? This is why, our old friend Brian Sipe is making the show. But it is, aside from where's the one? No, that's it. Everyone on the left-hand side is just markedly worse than everyone on the right-hand side. The left-hand side is guys,
it's like legendary.
Right, exactly. Tarkenton's not Bart Starr. Certainly Bart Starr's teams were considered the far better teams. And then if we just go, what about MVP against anybody? Again, you're seeing Brett Favre's the only one where it's like, hey, those early Packer teams couldn't beat the great Cowboy teams with Aikman. This is not normal.
I think,
and this especially because, sorry to interrupt, Brew, but especially because the last few years we have not looked at it like Lamar has had the worst team. We've looked at it as the opposite, that the Ravens have had the better team. So that's why losing this game when the Chiefs aren't whole and they're not playing well and they're even more vulnerable than they were last year and the year before, all those things, man, that's tough to get over in your head.
No, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's not like the teams are lopsided.
Yeah.
The Ravens are viewed as if they're equal or better in a lot of these games. So he's got to go get it done, and he will.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's right. I'm due. I told you.
He's due.
You saw the montage.
You have to win this one. Everything that we're talking about Lamar also applies to you. You cannot.
No. I won't go that far.
Bro, you have to win this.
I am putting up numbers.
You have to.
I'm putting up numbers,
You have to win. All right, last night, helped by a classic one from the sports media ombudsman about the kickoffs. A faulty kickoff.
That's passer rating graphic.
Here's your passer rating graphic. Take a look. A faulty. Sam Darnold hit JSN for a 22-yard pickup that set up the Seahawks' 52-yard field goal to win it. Darnold moves to 3-1 in the year. Here's Mike McDonald.
Sam's playing out of his mind right now, and you see him. He's just like such a cool customer. But he's a guy on a mission. He's just so determined for us to be a great team and a great offense, and he's doing a great job leading us.
Brew, are you ready to believe in Sam Darnold and the Seahawks?
Hold on. Before Brew answers, if we're going to do this game justice, it was the Kevin Wildes Bowl. It is a classic one by you. Also, if people didn't stay up late, Brew, it was a game-winning field goal, but it was a game-winning field goal aided by home-brought smelling salts.
You like those things.
Another pass.
Well, I figured that.
I don't think I'm doing
the first things first of all. Kevin Wildes Bowl, buddy, the kicker who had just missed a kick ripped some salts. Come on, man, it's your game.
What percentage is this?
It's stronger.
You're right.
Didn't tell me.
Last time we had
It's
what is it?
Last time they were at like 12%.
This says 35%.
Wow, it was like 15% last time.
Yeah, we had like.
You know what?
Hobbs, these are stronger.
I'm gonna leave you alone with that.
Come on, you got your own. You got to try it, Wilds. Wilds, you got to do it. It's your team.
I got accused
of
some
moment.
crazy
Yeah, Brew
stuff.
can't do it.
You were doing
Brew, you're a big
I mean,
yeah,
I was
you
just
gotta
doing
do
what
it,
I've seen in the movies.
That was smelling salt.
I mean,
KW, you got it. There you go. You got to give it a good rip.
I like to.
You
get
got it. Yeah, go ahead. They're
in hard now.
They're stronger.
They're
Brew,
way stronger.
I told you they're stronger. Oh, it's ruined.
Brew, you got to do it. That's what the people
No,
want.
Brew's got to give real analysis.
no,
Brew can't do
now
it.
y'all, you see, I would look soft if I don't
Oh,
do
no.
it.
Well, then Brew's not going to be able to give analysis.
Don't you just crack it?
Yeah, just
Fall
crack
off
it,
the thing.
Brew. Just crack it. I don't know.
I'm not going both.
No,
Okay.
crack it
I'm
first.
not
Brew.
going
That's
one.
the
Crack it
problem.
first.
Crack it first and then
Yeah,
bring it up.
There you go. Oh, Brew got it good. It wasn't
That one wasn't as
time.
bad as last
Well, no,
time,
because
'cause I-
last time you took
I
it
didn't
straight
do
to
one.
the dome.
Yeah.
All right, what's the question Bruce supposed to answer here? Now we're locked. We're locked like Jason Myers.
I am
feel
in.
better.
Let's
Yeah,
do-
exactly
Let's
right.
do
Are
this.
you ready to
Yeah.
believe in Darnold and the Seahawks?
I am ready to believe that Sam Darnold is a legitimate starting quarterback.
What? Yeah, no kidding. He was out there. He started the game.
No, I'm like legitimate starting quarterback that I feel good about.
Okay, that's better, I guess.
And I am willing to say the Seattle Seahawks are a playoff contender. I am not going any further than that.
Okay.
Because they're not on the level. Contender in the NFC? They're not with Detroit, Green Bay, Philadelphia.
They get Tampa next week.
We'll see next week.
That could be a
But
good
I
spot.
think-
They're on extended
Yes.
rest.
So I think they're good. Their defense is really good. They get after the quarterback without having to blitz all the time. So that helps obviously the backfield, the defensive backfield.
Run the ball.
They run, they got a great run game. And Darnold made some nice
So can I ask you this
passes
about Darnold?
last night, and obviously clutch.
Has he escaped pumpkin zone? Where you never,
Yeah, where it's
where you don't have to,
like
when-
Geno has escaped pumpkin zone.
and Baker,
Baker's
he's out.
by more than a year.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
so if people, again, if you're new to First Things First and you're like, what are you guys are taking smelling salts and know about pumpkin zone? It's the idea of, like, Daniel Jones right now firmly is on pumpkin watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's like he could turn back into a pumpkin.
At any point.
And Darnold, because he had such a great year last year, following it up with a good start to the year, you would think he escaped it, except the end of last year, the clock struck midnight and he turned back into a pumpkin. So my answer is to that, my own question, I guess, is he is not for me.
But he's getting close.
He's getting
He's
close.
getting close.
And right now, I looked it up, Brew. I just checked the odds. They are a slight favorite to make the playoffs. And I think that they don't need. Listen, I said I have to audit my own takes like I do everyone else's. I killed this team for getting worse at quarterback, for opting out of Geno and into Darnold. Through 1 month, they have not gotten worse at quarterback. Darnold has played better than Geno. You know what I mean? And so I'm not ready to firmly say that's what it's going to be for the entirety of the year. But I also think you can have added optimism about Mike McDonald because of what Baltimore's defense has looked like since he left.
Take two.
You know what I mean? Like he was. They had the number one defense in football with him there. And so, KW, we've been calling you a Sam Darnold guy all year, and you're like, I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. But
I'm
you got
almost a Sam Darnold guy.
Yeah.
First of all, I got a lot of guys.
I will snatch him. If
No,
you don't, a few more weeks of good play, I will snatch him.
I'm not going to fight you on that, though.
No.
I mean, that's because I'm a little
If
bit
you don't
pumpkin
claim
hesitant.
him, claim him.
But I've got so many guys.
These are
It's
the
like a club
guys I've
superstar.
snatched from you.
Oh, God.
Ja,
A lot of
and
NBA guys.
Anthony Edwards.
That was I got yelled at by Adidas.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Wemby was never your guy.
No,
I think you
Wemby's
tried
your
to
guy.
steal it. But Chet.
When did I bet
No,
on
hold on.
Chet?
Hold on. Let's stay here.
You bet.
Let's just stay here. I want to let Wilds take a mini victory
Shin-
lap.
A mini
on
victory
Darnold.
lap, 100 pounds. I think I'm bleeding.
I know. I felt like I was bleeding too, bro. I thought my nose was bleeding. These things are strong.
Just talking.
I kind of liked it. Give me another one.
What's a no, bro?
I mean, with the
no.
two.
Bro,
now that I know how to do it. Now that I know how to do it.
Honestly, you almost like took it too easy.
I was ready.
No, don't.
At the end of the segment.
Show
At
the
the end of
graphic
the
that we
segment.
already
Show
saw.
the graphic. Yeah. The passer
so
rating?
nice. We're going to show it twice. 100 passer rating since the start of last season. So look, I think when he was on this last year, Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson pretty much got the bulk of the credit. So now we're 4 games into his Seahawk tenure. He's up here with some of the best quarterbacks in the league, minus Mahomes. So I don't know.
Yeah.
He's starting to get there. Here's a graphic that Mahomes is on, Dust, if we have
The
that.
game-winning drives?
Yeah,
it's him and Darnold, right?
So for a guy that like goes pumpkin, now would I've done that like sad picture? I don't know. For game-winning drives in the last 2 seasons.
Oh no, he's not sad. He's yelling. He's fired up.
Oh, he looks sad. No, there we go. Thank you. When you pull it out, he's fired up.
Yeah.
There had to be a better one than that.
Yeah.
Well, no,
It's hard
he's
to
like
tell.
pumped up.
Fired
Like
up.
that.
Yeah.
I thought he was like this.
Yeah.
And anyway, this kind of goes against the narrative that he's not a clutch guy because, and again, I think it's overplayed that he lost the last 2 games of the season, one against the Lions, and then he had a bad playoff game. But
Well, you don't put quotes on it. He had a horrible playoff game.
But a lot
he might
of
be overplayed.
quarterbacks
Had bad playoff games.
well, when you don't win the Super Bowl, sometimes you're like, oh, I probably could have played better in the playoffs.
Yeah, it would have been. It's nice if you have a couple good playoff games before your bad playoff game.
Get a little runway.
But listen. Today's a good day for you. Not a great day for your 2023 Super Bowl pick, Arizona Cardinals, but it's a good day for you.
That was my Bears pick.
Okay, fair. But I do feel like the Bears pick gets referenced quite often on this show, and I don't think and Marvin Harrison Jr. hopefully the very end of the game
bounce back.
Turns it around.
I was very happy.
I'm happy he had those nice moments.
Yeah, he's turned into like a sympathetic.
Yeah,
figure.
it's really weird.
Rooting for him now. Okay, that's Seahawks host the Bucs next week. Bucs host the Eagles this week. Philly Sports Daily, my Eagles newsletter, all things Philadelphia and sports, had this headline: Jalen Hurts meets his final boss since Todd Bowles' defense has delivered 4 wins over Jalen. Meanwhile, Baker has been Mr. Clutch, 3 consecutive wins in close games. Is Hurts or the Bake Show more likely to look like the MVP?
Let me say this, because this is the team I picked to have the 1 seed and make the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, and I expect them to lose this game. I think that the cluster injuries on the offensive line, the plus Mike Evans being out is it's a bridge too far for this specific game. If Baker is able to overcome that and they win this game, Brew, I think he has to be number 1 on Brew's ballot after this week. If they're 4-0 with 3 last-minute drives orchestrated by him to win games, and then end Philly's 18-game, whatever it is, winning streak, shorthanded. Again, assuming it's not because they have 2 kick return touchdowns. Right. You know what I mean? That it is a Baker-heavy game plan, which I think it will have to be, and they win. I think he surpasses Herbert and Allen as far as the most impressive first month of the year. Because Josh has, as good as Josh has been, it has been a balanced approach, and Herbert's got maybe the best defense in football.
Also some tomato cans. He's suffering from
but
the
Bucs
played. Yeah, I mean the Bucs also haven't played great teams, but not as bad as what Josh has played.
At least he gets.
Yeah, the Eagles obviously
got
would
the
be.
Saints this week.
And so, I think he has a real case that if they are able to do this, that he's the MVP through the month of September.
Herbert would have to struggle or be really nondescript, I think, because Herbert's been phenomenal. I know he wasn't awesome in the last game, although he did throw for 300 yards.
And he had the play of the year
touchdown.
in that game. Yep.
Because Baker's numbers aren't that great. I'll show him later, but his numbers aren't that great. He's just had these phenomenal game-winning drives. But I think Jalen's going to look more like the MVP.
Okay.
Tampa and Baker's been great in these last drives, but like I said, he hasn't been awesome throughout the games. And they've beaten 3 teams with a combined 1-8 record by a total of 6 points. So I think they're stepping up in weight class. They could be, this is not even they could be 0-3.
Tampa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
know.
know.
They could easily be 0-3.
Good thing they have
and
Baker.
I think Philly's going to do what you and Danny want them to do and throw the ball more. And I think Jalen's going to have success with that. He always seems to when they let him throw. So I think Jalen's going to look great. If they don't throw, I think he'll look good on the ground and maybe run for a couple of touchdowns.
Hurts in the second half, 209 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. I'd like to see if this is like he can continue, like, oh, I'm on a hot streak from the second half.
Yeah, and if they're going to use more of the plays from the second half.
Right.
Hold on, what?
Throw
hold
the
on,
ball.
why are they?
I don't know.
Are they playing the music? Segment's
You
not over.
love
You
these
said
things.
what the heck? They're rolling the animation on me. You guys better put the camera back on me.
Oh, you're going to do another one?
Yeah, we said we were going to do another one.
I'm not doing it. Bruce? Too cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
All right.
as
Oh,
bad
we got
as
it.
the
We're
first
back
one.
live. All right.
Okay.
Nick really likes it.
Wake you up.
Well, USC remain undefeated next FS1. That Leinart.
That Leinart was watching us do that.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Start your Saturday strong, big noon Saturday. Number 21, USC. Number 23, the Fighting Illini, live from Champaign, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. Live with us right now, Mark Ingram and Matt Leinart. Matt, we're going to start with you. Are you surprised the Trojans are touchdown favorites in Illinois?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, you look at both these teams, and again, I think Illinois is going to play a lot better this weekend than they did a week ago, but they did. I mean, they lost 63-10. They gave up a bunch of yards. And when you look at this USC team, they're just more consistent. And I look at the offense, I look at the run game, right? Lincoln Riley has finally kind of committed to the run game. They're better up front. Mark and I, we were just talking about Waymon Jordan earlier. Like, Waymon Jordan's a star. He was a number one JUCO player in the portal at running back. I think he's going to become a household name here in the next couple weeks. They're just better up front, guys. You know, they're playing better up front. I do think this, so to me, and I'm going to say this on the show, this is a prove-it game for USC. You have to go out and prove that you can win on the road against a ranked opponent because the schedule starts to get real tough here over the next couple weeks.
Matt, you said it, a ranked opponent. And look, I don't know if it's just me, but I have this rule. If you get beat 63-10, you can't be in the top 25, at least not that week. Can we give it a few weeks? I mean, am I crazy here, or why are they still in the top 25, Illinois?
Well, by the way, Notre Dame started 0-2, and they stayed in the top 25. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who's voting for these things, but I think Illinois is a good team. And again, last year they had a great year. They had a lot of guys come back. I will say they got really banged up in the game last week. A lot of guys went out. I think that's a big question mark in this game. I'm with you. Look, it looks better on USC's resume if they win this game versus a ranked opponent. True. So we'll see.
All right. Mark, I want to go to the Alabama-Georgia game. It's one of the many great games this weekend. Very simple question. What happens at Alabama if they lose this game, which, by the way, they're favored to do?
Listen, this thing could go one or two ways for Bama. You get this game, it could be a lot of momentum moving forward. You know what I mean? But they just have to play better on the road. They haven't played good on the road. Lost their last like 4 or 5 on the road or neutral sites. Haven't been able to run the football, but Jam Miller's coming back. That should give a boost to the rushing attack. Haven't been able to stop the run, but getting Tim Keenan back on the D-line, that should be able to be a boost for the defensive line and the defense in general. So this team just has to play physical. They have to bring an identity on the road against a Georgia team who they're tough to beat in Athens. So they have to have the identity, the physicality to go out there. They have the talent. They have the playmakers to do it. You just have to go out there and do it. They have to be able to win this game, man, because it can get ugly.
Yeah, I want to talk about if it gets ugly, because here's the deal. Like, they're the 17th ranked team in the nation. Last year, I think they finished as the 17th ranked team in the nation. There's, 100 programs in college football that would take that in back-to-back years. Alabama ain't one of them. And, they're at the beginning of the year, there were real expectations. Obviously, at the moment, I think it's already fair to say they're not meeting them. How loud is the noise right now, fairly, around the head coach, Kalen DeBoer?
I think the noise is loud. You hear it. All of us hear it. And I'm sure they hear it down there as well. Like you said, the standard at Alabama is championships. The standard is not to, win 9 games or win 10 games and everyone's going to be happy and roo-roo and feeling good about it. No, the standard is to make a playoff and have a team that's capable of going to win a national championship. And so the noise is loud, and it's only going to get louder if they don't do what they need to do this weekend. So I'm rooting for them. I know they can do what they need to do. They have the team. They have the talent able to do it. They just have to go out there and do it. You have to be able to run the football. You have to be able to stop the run. All those things is an identity of your team that you have to be able to take on the road against a good Georgia team.
I would say, too, like last year, 8 of the 12 teams that got into the playoff all had multiple losses. You still look, they lost to Florida State, not a non-conference loss. I think this is a big game, but if you look at Bama's schedule, and I probably believe in Bama maybe a little more than Marcus sometimes this year. I think they're a good team. It is a different looking team, right? I mean, they don't run the football very well, which was what they used to do. Obviously,
Ty Simpson was their leading rusher last week. 2 weeks ago.
The 3, I think, toughest teams left on the schedule, they all get at home. To me, the SEC is still pretty wide open with Texas not being as – I mean, so I'm a believer. I think Alabama, they win this game. You better start taking them serious, though.
Okay. That gave me hope.
What do you mean hope? Are you a Bama?
Yeah, roll Tide.
So why are you a Bama fan?
Because my wife did the Saban documentary, and I like Saban.
Saban's gone. All right?
His roll damn Tide always in favor.
By the way, watching a Bama game with Mark every week is like an emotional roller coaster, man. I was like, welcome to my world watching USC the last 10 years, bro. It is some dark times.
I'm sitting here like, this is what this feels like?
I don't like the identity talk. That's what is the red flag. They don't have an identity. They don't feel like Alabama. So it's pretty good. Like it. Anyway,
that's true.
Oregon, Penn State. In Happy Valley, it's going to be a whiteout. Everyone's going to be excited. Is this but Penn State's not great against ranked opponents. Is this a must-win for Penn State?
I mean, we were just talking about.
It is, but if they lose, they're still in the.
But that's the thing.
No, must win. Remember, we do it theoretically must win.
Yeah, it's the weird thing is like James Franklin. There's the narrative is yes, you can't win the big game, and I get that, and he's been pretty bad, terrible against top 5, top 10 teams.
4-20.
4-20, even last year. But we were saying the same thing last year when they played Ohio State. They lost, and they still got to the semifinal game, and they're maybe a couple plays away from getting the national championship game. So that's the expanded playoff has allowed you to lose these types of games and still make a run, which I believe they do. I believe they're probably going to – I think they're going to win this game, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I like Oregon. I don't think this is a must-win in the grand scheme of things. But I think, the perception – I mean, the narrative and the perception around Penn State is like, hey, you win – you're 10-2 every year, but you just can't win the big one. But I'm just not sure that matters anymore the way the playoff is set.
Is it a must-win? To me, it is a must-win for the belief and the culture of this team. Like, they just feel like you can't get over the hump against these games. 4-20, Drew Aller's 1-5.
But they still –
But if you lose this game, you still have very much a chance to go to the playoff. Like,
for sure,
you lose to Oregon. They're one of the top teams in the country. But I feel like it's a must-win just for the morale of this team, for the belief of this team going forward. You want to be able to – you have 13 players come back. You had Nick Singleton and Katron Allen come back. You had all these players come back. In order for them to have that belief and that confidence to keep moving forward, I feel like you have to be able to win one of these games here in the near future. And so it's not a must-win because if they lose, they still have a chance to go to the playoff. Like you said, they lost 2 games last year and went to the playoff. But at the end of the day, I feel like for the team within the team walls, it's a must-win for the morale of the team.
Perfect must-win.
Yeah, perfect. You nailed it exactly. That's totally exactly right. Yeah.
Mark, you mentioned, the 4-20 James Franklin against top 10 opponents. Do you guys have a theory on why? I mean, he's obviously a very good coach. He got the program back near the top. But why can't they ever seemingly get over the hump against these top teams?
Well, for one, they're in the division they're in a conference with 2 of the last national champions. Yeah. So you go up against Ohio State, you go up against Michigan every time, and you have the good players to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, but they just haven't beat the teams that they need to beat. And so that's the difference right now. Can they do it? Yeah, like they have Oregon this week. Oregon struggles against the run. They have Nick Singleton and K-Troy Allen coming to town. So I think a lot of things are pointing in their favor for this week in this game. But at the end of the day, you have to go out there and do it. It doesn't matter what we say. It doesn't matter what nobody thinks. When they line up and it's good on good, and they have players that are equally as talented or better than yours, you have to find a way to win the game, and they haven't been able to figure that out.
I also think too, like when you look at this, and I think Drew Aller is a really good player. He's won a lot of games. I think he's got NFL talent, and I think this is a big moment for him tomorrow night. If he plays well, I think that's just kind of like a big monkey off his back because I've sat with him. He's a great kid, and he's got the talent. I think if you look at like these teams in the last 10 years, they've missed like the guy on the outside, right? They haven't had they've had some guys like Hamler, and they've had, Chris Godwin years ago, but they haven't had a guy on that. Tyler Warren was the guy last year who was an absolute stud, and he's balling in the NFL, but they haven't had like the big playmaker on the outside, right? That's kind of held them back too. They've just been limited in the pass game over the years. That's something that we always talk about. And then at quarterback, they just like, they have to be able to elevate that. Like Drew Aller has to elevate these guys around and be a guy that you can count on in the moment. And I think that's just something that we haven't seen in the big game over the last couple of years. Trace McSorley was a baller, right, for this team years ago, but they haven't found a way, So I think there's more to it. And again, like to Mark's point, Ohio State has been Ohio State. I mean, they've been outstanding. And then Harbaugh had Michigan going up, and Michigan is still really good. So they were stuck in a division, third in that division. If they're in the Big Ten West when there were divisions, they'd be in the Big Ten Championship 10 years in a row. So, look, I think they got a great shot at winning this game tomorrow night, though.
All right, one other huge game one of the other huge games this week is LSU Ole Miss. Here's one of the problems with whether it's college football or pro football early season analysis. We bake into how good a team's win was over another team based on how good we think that other team actually is. So week one, LSU beats Clemson. We're like, man, what a win by LSU. And Clemson since then just got dog walked by my Syracuse Orange. Turns out they stink. So
dog walk,
is there any, I guess here's my question. Is there any chance, because LSU obviously hasn't played major competition since then, that LSU is, as far as its ranking, is a touch overrated at the moment, and Ole Miss maybe could expose that mark? It looks like Mark, I want you to answer first because I know LSU, Bam, a little rivalry. I want to hear what you say about it.
Listen, man, I think LSU is a good football team. Their defense, they improved significantly on the defensive side of the ball, and I think that's something that I could be confident in going into Oxford, is that their defense has been strong. Now, Chambliss and this Ole Miss offense, they have been explosive. They have been electric, but they haven't quite faced a defense like LSU's just yet. And on the offensive side of the ball for LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, their offense has been kind of pedestrian, kind of middle of the road, but I still do believe in Garrett Nussmeier, and I do think that this offense will look a lot better in this matchup, especially going against a defense that has allowed 29 points per game and 200 yards rushing per game. So I think Ole Miss has looked really good so far this year, but I also think they haven't played a defense or a team that looks like LSU. So this game could go either way, but I am leaning towards LSU in this game. As much as I don't care about the Tigers, I don't care about Ole Miss either. But I think LSU is going to come to play and be ready to play in this game.
I think like Trinidad Chambliss is the kid. He was a Division II player. Yeah. He's a baller, but this is a tough test. Like this will be – he is at home. This will be a tough test for him against LSU. But, yeah, I'm kind of with you guys too. Just the offense. Like Garrett Nussmeier is really good, but their offense has been very – Mark likes to say mid. They've been very mid this year. So I do think it could be a higher scoring game. I like Ole Miss at home in this one. I think the line is what? Yeah, the line's 1.5. You see it right there. I think it's a toss-up game. But, also Lane Kiffin, just some extra motivation this week as well,
Yeah.
You're right about that.
He didn't take the over, but I didn't really understand what he was saying on that. Lane Kiffin likes trolling on social media, also getting the family involved, always questionable.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that, boys. He's got some extra motivation this week.
This right up Lane's alley, man. He probably orchestrated this whole thing to get some juice glowing. You know what I mean? Like,
Lane is a smart dude when it comes to that stuff.
Trojans Illini coverage starts at 10, then it's kickoff at noon. Thank you guys. Have a great game. Roll Tide.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys,
All right,
man.
Thanks a lot.
Packers favored by a touchdown Sunday night. Packers defense with Micah, great. Dallas defense without him, not great. But listen to this newest quote from Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan.
Let's make no mistake about it. Micah is special, and we all know he is, and he can be disruptive. And while he does make great plays, there is also a way to approach playing against Micah, as we know, because we didn't exactly win the Super Bowl during those years.
Brew, your reaction to Jerry's latest comments.
And we shortened them for brevity. Yeah. He said a little more, basically talking about how Micah can be exploited against the run.
Well, look, they should try to run at him. That's what a lot of teams did to him. They've done it to both, great pass rushers. I guess that's what they'll try. It might be their best strategy. What was the question?
The question was,
who's under the most pressure?
Which quarterback's under the most pressure once you got your reaction to that Jerry Jones stuff that I thought you'd be more fired up about, to be honest with you.
I assume one of you may say J-Lo because they're expected to win, but I look at it this way. Yes, he's expected to win. Dak isn't. Nobody really is expecting Dak to win. But if the OKC Thunder were playing the Portland Trailblazers, of course the Thunder are expected to win. But is there pressure on them? No, because they're that much better. Green Bay is so much better than the Cowboys right now. I see no pressure on Jordan Love. Like, he's going to go in there, even if he's just solid, average, they're going to roll. To me, the pressure's on Dak because a few months ago, they had a big three in Dallas. Now, I know they weren't like a Super Bowl contender, but it was CD, it was Dak, and it was Micah. Now they're all gone except Dak. He's the last one standing. And when you're the highest paid player in NFL history, even though we understand he's not working with much, I think the frustrated fans in Dallas are going to blame Dak if he doesn't go out there and cook, which I don't think he will.
I think they're going to blame Jerry. And I don't think this quote helps.
Yeah, I'm actually with you, Brew. I said Dak as well, because there is no CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, when your defense is playing as poorly as they are, you rely on the offense. Well, no CeeDee Lamb, you're going to look and say, Dak, can you get it done? Yep. You're a pass-first team. Before any running game that's being established, you're a pass-first team. And so when I look at this Dallas Cowboys team, the only way that they will be in any game is if Dak elevates everybody else around him. When you're on that field, and you talked about the big three, this is why you have quarterbacks that you believe in, that you pay big money to overcome what you lack. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys lack a lot on offense. They have injuries at the offensive line position. They have injuries, obviously, at the perimeter position with CeeDee Lamb. They have no faces, pretty much, or no personnel. That sounds very disrespectful, but a lack of personnel defensively, and so they're poor defensively. That puts all the weight on Dak. Because there's a quote that Jerry said right after this trade as well. And it reads like this. Well, I thought it read like this. Where is it at? I suggest we
get ahead and run the ball.
I suggest we get ahead and run the ball. You know why he said that? Because he understands the guy that he's making this quote about. If he doesn't do that, he's going to wreak havoc. So that puts pressure on Dak to score, to not allow Micah Parsons to come back and disrupt everything that they potentially could do and have the return that he's hoping to have.
Listen, I agree with you guys. I think the pressure's on Jordan Love just not turn the ball over. I think that's the extent of his pressure is don't do what you did against the Browns. I also am more interested with what you were more interested in, which is the Jerry Jones quote. I don't know what he's doing. And I don't know why he keeps doing this. I don't know why Jerry Jones is treating Micah Parsons and how good is Micah Parsons the way I think some, and this is not a political statement, I promise, but some bad actors in news media treat like international conflict that they are just banking on. Nobody really knows what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm going to say these things and be like, oh, I assume that's correct because nobody really knows. As if we don't watch Micah Parsons every weekend. Yeah. As if we haven't seen him for 4 years. Jerry Jones really thinks he can speak into existence the idea that Micah Parsons, not that good. Micah Parsons, is pros in pass rush, but he actually picks up the opposing running back and carries him down the field, and so it undercuts it. And he really thinks like he can win a PR war.
It does.
And so
he was winning it right after.
No, correct.
Honestly,
he had a temporary.
You were hearing that,
right? He had a temporary surge, and then you know what happened? The game started being played, and people were like, "Gosh darn it! You know what? Mike is still good." And I just think it's so silly. I think it is so silly for Jerry to still be trying to spin this yarn. And I think it is, the only explanation for it is he wants to speak into existence that he was right, but he forgets that the other thing he spoke into existence was telling everyone who would listen before he traded Micah how badly he wanted to keep Micah and offered him the most money any player's ever been offered on the defensive side of the ball. And so you can't tell us that and then be like, actually, we're better without him. You were the one that wanted to keep him. So I think it's so, I just think it's so ridiculous. I hope Micah has a massive game.
Ooh. Coming up next, the hottest segment in all of sports. Greg trying to extend his lead with Coach. It's upset.
Even if Greg and Coach were two separate teams and you split their score in half, they'd still be crushing.
Exactly. They should be separate.
I'm due.
Live from New York, Shedeur thinks it's a must-win game for Alabama Crimson Tide. You know I'm a Bama.
No.
You don't think it's a must-win?
No, it's must-win for Penn State. Penn State's got to.
Yeah, at some point they
Just
gotta
to
beat
show
some
that
good
they
teams.
can.
They got to beat a good team, a really good team. They're supposed to be a really good team. They are they have the same record against top 5 teams that like unranked teams do, except they're also usually top 5. It's not good. It's not good. Like, what's Central Michigan's record against top 5 teams?
I don't know.
Probably the same as Penn State. Exactly. That's my point.
Butchered that. Have another.
Another salt
lick.
You want one?
We should do salt licks like deer. Today, Eagles Bucs, Hurts versus Baker is the winner now in the driver's seat in the NFC. Meanwhile, upset alert and a special edition of Nick's Picks, which is tied with Parkins Picks. So
currently has the head-to-head.
That doesn't make any sense.
I won last week.
That's not how
He
head-to-head
was trying
works.
to finagle how he's ahead.
I am.
Yeah. He's won 2.
It looks like a tie.
Here's
You could have a bonus pick, like a coin flip.
Well,
But right now, it's the First Things First Bowl. Let's tune in Monday at 3 o'clock for a show unlike any other. Lamar leads the league in touchdowns, yards per pass, and passer rating, but Mahomes is at home and has had Lamar's number historically. Nick, do you want to go first?
Yes.
There's a chance you might shock everybody here. It would be great for the show. Who would you rather have this Sunday, Lamar or Patrick Mahomes?
Honestly,
no chance. No chance he's shocking me.
Saying honestly, it's such a diss. He didn't mean that. I apologize.
That was for the Central Michigan.
Honestly.
I'd rather have Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
And I actually want to turn it to you, Kevin Wiles.
Oh, here we go. Buckle up.
Because listen,
everybody.
I know it's been very in vogue for you lately to pick the Chiefs to lose in blowouts. And then when they don't, you still say it was a terrible result for them.
No, it's a bad call by me.
No. Do you think this weekend's going to be a blowout?
It's crossed my mind.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And the line doesn't think it is, but I also think the line's wrong, so I think the Chiefs are going to win, so I'm not leaning on that. Like, these games typically are close between these two teams.
Mm-hmm.
And if you assume it's going to be close, I simply don't know how you can say with a clear heart that you'd rather have Lamar than Patrick. And especially if it's going to be close and Lamar is going to be having to deal with Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs defense and Patrick dealing with whatever the Zach or Ravens defense is or isn't, and it's in Arrowhead, and it is a Chiefs team, low bar, but coming off their best moment of the season, their only win, and a Ravens team coming off, in my opinion, their worst moment of the season, that you would rather have Lamar Jackson when we've seen these two guys play a half dozen times and Lamar's never outplayed him.
That's a great argument.
And so I understand that Lamar, game in, game out over the last 2.25 regular seasons, last 2 regular seasons and up to this one, has been the most statistically prolific player in the league, and it's one of the greatest stretches in league history. That is a fact. And Patrick's been just mediocre statistically. I still think in your bones, you'd rather have Patrick Mahomes. So that's my answer.
That's a great line of
of course.
reason.
I'm thinking about it all
Here's
day.
the thing. I don't expect the Ravens to blow them out either. But winning by 10 or 7 or 8 is different than 3 or 1.
Agreed.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? And is this the playoffs or the regular season?
Regular season.
Okay.
Yeah, playoffs are later.
Give me Lamar. The regular season? Give me Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson.
It is a kind of
like
a
you
diss.
said it like very emphatic.
No.
It's kind of a diss.
Very much so.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
he has been better in the regular season. We know he hadn't played up to his standard in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mahomes has been phenomenal essentially in the playoffs, except that Super Bowl game last year. But in the regular season, I'm going with Lamar. Lamar had more touchdowns against Cleveland, one game, than Patrick has all year. He had as many touchdowns against Detroit as Patrick has all year.
Are you talking passing touchdowns?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, passing touchdowns. Patrick hasn't thrown 4 touchdown passes, which Lamar did 2 weeks ago, in a game since the middle of the 2023 season. So Lamar is just lights out in the regular season. I think we have a graphic from the last 2 years or the start of last season comparing their numbers. I mean, Lamar's led the league, and the highlighted was look at the TD interceptions. It's just no comparison between the two in the regular season.
It's really stark. That's
the
touchdown
incredible.
intercept 50 to 29 is jarring.
Yeah, so, and Lamar, look, he has to get over this hump. Last year he had to do it against Pittsburgh. I get it, the Steelers aren't the Chiefs. But I do think this is another hump he'll get over and conquer. So regular season, I might feel differently if it was the playoffs. Regular season, give me Lamar.
Yeah, I'm with Brew.
Man.
Lamar. And here's my reasoning why Lamar, because Lamar doesn't, right now as it stands, he doesn't have to do it by himself. He doesn't have to be overly worldly great for the Ravens to win.
Good point.
Patrick Mahomes has to be. And I don't know right now if that game is in him this early in the season. Not that he can't do it, but I don't know if he's going to give us that. When you look at what teams that they've played, and the team that moved the ball almost at will, the Chargers, against the Chiefs defense, that's the one test of their defense that, they played the Eagles. And
the Eagles pretty good
Eagles
test.
Offensively, the Eagles, we've all been on this. They've just not looked like a juggernaut. Like they do whatever it takes to win the game. Kind of like what the Chiefs do. If it gets murky,
no, that's fair.
I'm with you there.
Fair.
This offense of the Ravens, they can beat you in a multitude of ways, and it's not just about Lamar. He has so much more help.
I think that
Patrick doesn't have help. So I take Lamar because of his skill set and because of the help that he's coming in the Arrowhead with.
I have a question I want to ask, but do you want to go first,
No,
Miles?
no.
So on this show, it is pretty, I think, agreed upon that Lamar's got a playoff thing. You know what I mean? There's something where that while he's gotten better, that he hasn't got and that his play, it's not just that he hasn't gotten over the hump, but he hasn't quite been the same player. Mm-hmm. That amongst a lot of our friends in the media, certainly some of our smarter friends in the media, it's small sample size stuff. They're like, it's just bad luck. Do you guys agree with me? Because you just showed Lamar's regular season numbers. Yeah. That if in this game Lamar plays poorly, that is a real piece of evidence that he does have a get tight in big spots element to him. If he has 50 touchdowns and 4 picks in the last 20 or whatever it is, regular season games.
Yeah, if he threw 2.
You know what I mean? And if he, because we've shown if we could just show it real quick, Dust, just the Lamar's right matchups against Patrick, his stats. It's not just that he's 1-5, it's that his passer rating's 80, the touchdown interception ratio is like 1-to-1. If we can't show it, it's no big deal. I know we're going late. To me, that would be concerning if I'm, you know what I mean? If I'm a Ravens fan or just a Lamar fan that's like, oh, he's just gotten so this is the KC and the playoffs, which is, big but again, game. The KC numbers, the passer rating's actually worse than the playoff numbers.
It's interesting. This is similar. If your scenario plays out and they lose and he plays poorly, it's similar to our discussion last year with the Steelers. Because I was arguing, okay, he had, and in fact, his worst game last year was the Steelers, and then he came back
and beat him in the playoffs.
Right.
It was a double dip.
But I was arguing the Bengals with Joe Burrow is a tough game or big game. Yeah. And then I would say Buffalo, Detroit, those are big games too, and he's obviously played well. I get it, the Chiefs are but you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you parse between playing Buffalo, playing Kansas City?
I think one's the champion and one's got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, this is the elephant in the room, if you will. This is the one that almost clearly ranks higher than any team you can ever put up there, regardless of their record.
The best team in the league.
Because of their pedigree and because of their championships. Like Lamar he can't do what you just said.
Yeah, he can't.
He can't.
He can't.
It's time now for a segment so hot my grandmother bottles it and uses it as her own personal smelling salts.
Really?
She comes over. Yeah, she says she wants a little bit of a pick-me-up.
Greg,
Nick's doing it again.
The third
Nick
time
loves this.
This show.
What are you doing?
Right. Right. Get you ready for upset.
Nick is like addicted.
I got one for you.
Smelling salts.
You get it ready for. See, Greg.
There you go. That's pretty good. The fact that I didn't realize it was cooler to. I'm gonna do that from now on.
That's kind of how I took mine. This time, not the
Gianna
first
said
time.
it was a good.
Here are the standings currently for upset alert.
I mean,
Goose
you
egg.
see, I'm
I've
shocked. That's the
win.
look on my face. Like, what?
Brew hasn't gotten a point yet.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Wilds has gotten 1 point. Brew picked.
I mean, that was a good pick.
Houston
what's
plus
going on
1.5. They lost by a touchdown. Wilds picked New England plus 1.5. They lost by a touchdown. You know what? And Coach picked Cleveland plus 8.5. They went outright. The lesson from last week is don't try to pick this little eensy-weensy favorite to try to just, it's basically a coin flip. I'll take my 4.5 points. Go big or go home.
We're trying to just.
I'm just trying to get a few points.
See that analysis. It has
right. It's about what I see.
Analysis.
What I see.
Powered by your.
Yeah. Look. I'm going with the Colts.
Wow.
Believes.
He is all in.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I looked and I was trying to find a game, and I'm like, I just kept gravitating back to the Colts. And a lot of the reasons are because they are just, in my belief, a really good team. They are a very well-rounded team. When you look at how they're winning, it's not just about, they're getting great production from Daniel Jones. No, they're getting great production defensively. They're getting great production in the run game. He's being protected. He's not turning the ball over. That equates 2 wins. And when I measure them up against the Rams, like defensively, we all look at the Rams and like, man, they have a great defense. They have a really good defense. Or offensively, we'll start with their offense. Offensively, like, this is what it is. And you can talk about Matthew Stafford being a better quarterback, and that's fine if you feel that way, great. But Daniel Jones being protected, going up against a defense like the Denver Broncos, who can get after you, he's not gonna be rattled. And so this is why you're getting these numbers in points per game. They're second. Like, he doesn't get sacked. He's protected. He doesn't turn the ball over right now, which has always been his bugaboo. And then when you flip on the defensive side, like, they're giving you everything they want. Like, Lou Anarumo, I think, is going to be a name that we're going to start bringing up a little bit more. You said this about the Bengals. He was not the reason. And he's what this defense needed. They have a guy who's going to put them in great positions. Like, we thought the Rams defense was great. Look at this defense. Now, I'm not calling them all world and great, but they are a very efficient and effective defense. You couple what they do with good special teams play, great quarterback play, not turning the ball over, you get a win on the road in a game that a lot of people would say, okay, the Colts are for real now.
Yes.
I'm 100%
you're right
sold
about that.
I am 100%. The rare one. Bonus points for me. I will play my bonus points card.
You're trying to jump on his
I agree.
pick?
I would like when you get two whatevers and you split them.
Two aces and split them? No, that's not how it works.
I agree with that. I want in on Greg's pick as well for double the points. I 100% agree with that analysis. 100%.
Too late. Sorry, buddy.
I think I can do that. Split them.
That is, we saw the rule. We didn't show the rule. Maybe we need to show them again.
You go like this, you tap the thing, and they give you more cards.
That's brew.
Jets, Jets.
You're picking the Jets?
I'm picking the Jets over Miami.
Our ratings are cratering right now. We're just getting killed, dude. We got jobs on the line.
He picked the Colts.
The Colts are an interesting team.
Really?
Against the Rams. Jets, Dolphins.
Let me tell you.
We can't go back to back.
Let me tell you something about the
I'm
Jets.
sorry.
The Jets are a break or two away from being 2-1. They had two teams with a combined record of 5-1 down, both of them. The Jets were beating them with less than 2 minutes to play. Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay, everybody's favorite team now all of a sudden, all right? So the Jets, Aaron Glenn, I like what he's doing. I think he has changed the culture.
Yeah.
And the Jets are going to get their first W. They should have beat Tampa Bay. And the Dolphins
did need a
really
blocked field goal return for a touchdown to take the lead on Tampa.
The Dolphins played. They looked decent against the Bills.
I mean, decent. They lost by 10. They did look decent, but no, the Jets.
Right, KW.
Aaron Glenn.
KW, you need to pick us up here. You did Jets, Dolphins. I hope we have some marquee teams coming up here.
You better have a fan favorite. Have you jumped on me?
You know, you ever see that interview with Denzel Washington and Jamie Foxx?
Yes.
When I think Denzel either lost an Academy Award or a Golden Globe.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went and got some food from the place where it was only like reserved for the winners as he left. Yeah. And his famous line that became a bit of a meme is, "I'm leaving here with something." Panthers, Patriots. Panthers.
Wait, what?
I'm leaving here with something.
I'm
leaving here with something.
against the Pats?
I'm leaving here with something.
You had this in your back pocket the entire time, and you got on him.
I didn't know we were doing
Thank you,
two.
Greg.
We can't do four bad teams. You're talking about the Colts on national television.
They're playing the Rams.
Jets are in the biggest market in the country.
I'm leaving here with something. Either the Patriots are winning or OKW is coming home with points. First of all, the Patriots. What are we doing with these penalties? Oh, it's supposed to be do your job, the little guy, from the Revolutionary War, and not getting penalized. That's our whole thing, okay? Meanwhile, these teams are all bad. Oddly, the Packers, that's interesting. But we have to stop getting penalized. It's brutal. Bryce, also one of my favorite players, friend of the show. First 6 quarters, not good. Last 6 quarters, picking it up a little bit of a microcosm.
I noticed you didn't include yards.
Because it's about 140.
Yeah, but with the new kickoff and everything, also this kickoff, they're the best at it. The Rams are good.
That part is true.
Panthers are actually the best. And then this was just brutal, and this one hits close to home because I brought my son, who's 11, to his third Patriots game.
That's
and he's
their
like,
home
Dad,
record?
It's like, Dad, I've never seen the Patriots win a game. And I'm like, he's going to be a teenager at this point. I brought him as a little boy. So we're just straight up not good at home. I don't know why.
You're not good, period. But
well, not good, period.
Right.
But also not good at home. We don't have a home field advantage. So Panthers have the Patriots on upset alert. We turned the ball over 5 times with Ramondre. I'm leaving here with something.
KW, before I get to Nick's picks,
yeah,
can I tell you how I know you're on tilt?
Why?
It's not just because you picked against the Patriots.
I didn't pick against them.
For the first time in the history of the segment, we didn't get. You've lost all your mojo.
Exactly.
Buddy. We didn't get. Why do they call me the Punch Johnny Phillip football? Is it because I'm covered in fur and living a log? No, it's because I can see the future. What happened, man?
I don't know. I'm on tilt.
Okay.
I got 1 point.
You know who's not on tilt? This guy after another winning weekend. Thank you, KW. Last weekend. Let's see how we did. We had one horrifying pick. I swear on my children, I will not bet on the Tennessee Titans as long as Brian Callahan's their head coach ever again. It's not happening. It doesn't matter. You can give me 150 points. I'm not doing it. Chargers, nice kick at the end. Lions, never a doubt. Steadied ourselves after a rough week 2. We're 5-4 on the year. We are starting off early. Nothing like being 1-0 before you've even finished your first cup of coffee. Let's go cross the pond to Ireland. Do I like Nick? Are you really betting on Carson Wentz against Aaron Rodgers? No, I'm betting on Brian Flores against Aaron Rodgers. Nick, don't you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be locked in after his last trip to Europe went so poorly and he threw the pick and then yelled at Mike Williams? Well, I don't know. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers is focused on right before the game. Is it blitzes? Is it game plans? I don't know. Aaron, take it away.
I have a family history going back to Ireland and Scotland, so I've always wanted to get over here. I wish, it is what it is, but if the schedule had been a little different, if I could have chosen it, maybe we get over on Monday. Tuesday's a day off, get to get out, see some things. It's a beautiful country, it seems like, from pictures, and I'm a historian, so I know kind of the history geopolitically in the area.
Aaron, couple things. One is, let's not complain about the travel schedule. Another is, all of us know you have no problem getting anywhere you want at any point you want. You could have made time for Ireland. That wasn't, Monday of the NFL season. Either way, Vikings are going to win by a lot. Aaron's going to be sacked a lot. I'll lay the 2.5 points. Next, 7.5-point dog that can win outright. There is no reason in the world for the Broncos to be favored by more than a touchdown against a team with a pulse. They took a miracle for them to beat the Titans by 8. Every other game's been close and they've lost. And the Bengals can move the ball. Now, Browning, if you include yards on interceptions, he's got a ton of yards on all these guys. The Bengals can win this game. The Bengals certainly can stay within a touchdown. The Bengals, 7.5-point dogs, it's insane. Bengals plus 7.5. And last but not least.
This is the lock.
Give me a break. Shut up, Wilds. We used to always show you all these Mahomes as an underdog stats.
I know. Now
he was 11-3 against the outright. He was 12-2 against the spread. All this stuff. Took a bit of a hit week 2 against the Eagles. So I said to Josh, you know what? Let's keep those. Let's put those in a drawer for now. Because this isn't about stats or history. This is about feel. And when I tell you I felt the vibrations across the football world with the tackle that turned the tide. And I said we are going to look back on that moment as the moment the Chiefs season turned around. And I told you guys going into Monday Night Football, when everyone had the Ravens being the Lions, this might be 2 1-2 teams. And we're like, which team should we freak out about? Chiefs win outright. Minnesota minus 2.5 in Ireland. Cincinnati plus 7.5 in Denver. Kansas City plus 2.5 in Kansas City. That's a 3-0 week.
It'll be interesting.
I like that Vikings pick for sure.
I like the Vikings pick as well.
Jordan Addison's back.
You like that Vikings
suspension.
pick?
It's a good pick.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's a good pick.
My family's from here. I've always wanted to get over here. Bro, you've been rich for 30 years. You have 6 months off a year. It's not that long of a flight.
No.
You made it to Egypt for 10 days.
Get over there.
Get over there anytime.
Weekend.
I went there for Bob's wedding.
Welcome back to First Things First. It's the 2-minute drill.
No, it's not.
We're not huddling.
The 2-minute drill's in 35 minutes,
I have
buddy.
something here, right?
It's the no huddle.
Yeah, you got something. Wait, we're in the show, bro.
I know, I'm just, add a little flavor.
Oh, okay, good. Eagles favorite against a banged up Bucs team in a battle of undefeated squads. If the Bucs pull this off, is anyone willing to call them the best team in the NFC?
I am.
Ooh.
My pick of them going to the Super Bowl was actually oddly not based on that I thought they were clearly like the best team in the NFC. It's that I thought they had the clearest path to the 1 seed and how valuable I think that is.
Yep.
But if they are able to, without at least 2/5 of their offensive line, without Mike Evans, if they have Chris Godwin, his first game back in more than a year, you know what I mean, with a banged-up defense to boot, if they're able to beat a Philly team that hasn't lost in a year, then I'm supposed to say what? That I don't think they can beat Detroit? That I don't think that they can beat the Rams? And I have a lot of respect for both those teams. I think the Bucs will have the argument that they are the NFC's best team if they beat Philly to get to 4-0, despite the fact that they have been probably disproportionately injured early in the year.
No. This is not the standings.
Well, of course.
Philadelphia is going to lose at some point this season to a team that's worse than them.
Okay.
Right? And so will probably every other great team in the league.
Sure.
All right? Tampa Bay could easily be 0-3.
Can't we say the same thing about
Playing
Philadelphia?
weak schedule. The Eagles, though, have not played a weak schedule.
I agree with that.
Losing to the Chiefs versus losing to the Falcons or, the
Jets.
Texans and
sure.
the Jets.
Yeah.
The Jets could be 2-1.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, they've beaten 3 teams with a 1-8 record combined by 6 points. And as they've played this weak schedule, they are 17th in the league in scoring defense. We know early on schedules affect kind of where you're ranked. Like I would say the Ravens. I know the defense isn't very good, but they've played 2 of the best offenses in the league. All right. Tampa Bay's played 3 bad teams right now. And maybe Houston's okay, but right now they're bad. And they're still 17th in scoring defense and 12th in scoring offense.
So if they win this game, Brew, who are you going to say is the best team
I think
in the
Detroit's
NFC?
better. I think Green Bay's better. And I think Philadelphia's still better. Like you lose to some teams that you're better than.
I do agree that you will lose to some teams that you're better than. I think it's tough if the team you lose to that you're saying you're better than is also undefeated and also has been to the playoffs 4 years in a row and also has a great quarterback. Like, you know what I mean? They check a lot of the boxes of a legitimate top-tier contender.
These are Look, and I know Baker's 3rd on my MVP ballot, but he has not been playing like lights out other than the comebacks. And I give him all the credit in the world
interception ratio
for
is pretty
rallying.
great.
The TD interception is great, but look at everything else. Passer rating, completion percentage, yards per attempt. I mean, so I'm just saying, like, no, I will not say they're the best team in the NFC.
Greg, you can just
because they win this
deciding
game.
vote here.
Look, man, it would be hard for me to not consider them the best because when you look at what Baker is doing, to Nick's point, he's doing this without a full roster, without the reinforcements that we know are coming. And I remember when we used to play, when the Giants were good. You wanted to catch the Giants early in the season because playoff version Giants, late in the season, they were something to handle. The Bucs, you typically want to catch them early. If they are doing this without all these guys early, they get reinforcements back and they start to find out who they really are. Baker is telling whoever wants to come, I got you. Just I'll tell you what you need to do. I'm gonna do my job. Like, there's not a quarterback in the game right now that, in my opinion, has more confidence than Baker Mayfield. That is scary. And he is willing to do whatever it takes to get a team.
And they finally have a great run game. A great might be strong, but I think a really good run game.
If they win, pending how it looks, you
might have to table your confidence thing in this next story.
And by the way, I think the Eagles probably win. But
Browns-Lions this weekend. Flacco under center. Shedeur waiting in the wings. Spoke to ESPN Cleveland about his prospects. Take a listen.
I don't think playing or not playing, is in my hands. I think based on the situation, it's if things happen, things turn out where I play, then I'll be out there and I'll be ready to play. I said, I'm ready to play right now. I know if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that.
Greg, your reaction?
He's too honest. Look, I don't mind that he feels this way. I just don't want to hear it. And I say that because all we want to see and know that's going on in Cleveland as it pertains to Shedeur Sanders is that he's improving, that he's working hard, that he's doing whatever a backup to the backup quarterback is doing, because nowhere else in the league are we even listening to a backup quarterback, let alone a backup to the backup. So it just optically, it doesn't, he's only stoking the narrative of why all these teams are like, look, man, he's too high on himself. And that's not the case. He is very confident in what he's saying. There might be some truth to it. However, if there is truth to it, let us find out by you just going to work, doing your job, and some team coming and grabbing you and saying, look, we want you, we're going to insert you, and the show can be yours.
Yeah, now, and I'm serious. I watched the whole interview.
Of course.
And it wasn't really bad, the whole thing in the context and stuff, but except for this quote. Yeah. This looks horrible. Already the other 31 teams weren't in love with you. We know that. And this is going to, I think, give them even more pause if they had any interest. And here's the thing, because I agree with everything you said, Greg. Who is he talking about? Now, we joked, I think yesterday or the day before when we heard it, well, he's not talking about Flacco. But who could he be talking about? Because very few quarterbacks are playing worse than Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is 31st in the league in passer rating at 65, lower than Jake Browning, who's been throwing interceptions galore. Joe Flacco has 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So I'm just saying, of course, we all would think, he's not talking about his guy. And in his mind, he probably isn't. But if somebody really wants to break down, well, let's look at quarterbacks. See, who's he talking about?
Yeah.
Flacco's going to be on that list, and that's just not a good look.
I think that's a fair point. You know what comment it really reminded me of, KW?
I know LeBron watching Summer League.
Yes, how'd you know?
Because it reminded me of that. It wasn't Summer League.
No, he was watching League Pass.
And we tried to figure out, who's he talking about?
Yeah, and
the Sixers were on.
So if people don't remember, a couple years ago, and I think this is actually the only major misstep LeBron has made publicly in relation to Bronny, and the only one that I think he probably would want back. He just tweeted, he was something along the lines of, he's like, watching League Pass right now, Bronny better than a lot of these guys. It's low-key hilarious. Yeah. And this was, I think, this was pre-cardiac arrest, Bronny at USC. And we look back on that, or at least I do, and I say, okay, that's just like, you see your kid through a father's eyes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just like and I at least cut him some slack a bit, but it wasn't Bronny saying it. Yeah. And I think that this comment would have been totally reasonable, and maybe if Dion had said it. You know what I mean? He's like, I watch the league, and I'm telling you guys right now, when he gets his chance, Shedeur's better than these guys.
That wouldn't have helped him.
That wouldn't have helped him, but it would have been fine. Because the thing is this. It's a little delusional. Because the reality of the situation is your team's starting quarterback is one of the worst in the league, one of the oldest in the league. You not only did not beat him out, and might say, you didn't have a chance, you're not his backup.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, the logic tree is the Browns actually have 3 quarterbacks on their roster better than a lot of the team's starters, which really would make you think Browns should maybe be a little better on offense than they currently are.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We're all just like, all right, the Browns are going to be a good defensive team and try to win games. What was the Packers score? 12-10?
13-10.
13-10. I think it's okay to why don't they pull the trigger on Shedeur? Just be like, you know what, Flacco, it's not going to work.
Well, they'd pull it to Gabriel.
Right. And here's the thing with the game, and you guys know I liked Shedeur coming into the draft, and I still like him now. And I like him over Gabriel. But when you look at the 2 preseason games, like, it's not like we can all say he should be ahead of Gabriel.
No.
Because he had that really bad game, and Gabriel looked a little bit better at times in preseason. So I'm just saying, like Nick said, he's far away from even getting on the field.
KW, all of them
why don't we just get there?
Because right
I
now,
like what the Giants did.
They're trying to make the playoffs, though.
See,
I'm just saying, they really are. The Browns, they just beat the Packers. I know they're not good, but in Kevin Stefanski's mind, we just beat the Packers.
Our divisions may be wide open. Again, we don't think that, but I mean,
at least maybe for a wild card or something.
To your point, it just doesn't seem like he's bought in to the idea of the team. I'm about the team. Whatever I can do to help this team. This comment makes it seem like, yeah, I'm here, and I could be anywhere. And I should be anywhere because I've been watching the league, and it's like, well, where we need you is to be focused on here.
Right. Greg, that's a great point. When Russell Wilson was benched, they asked him if he would ask for a trade. He gave an answer that was so good about teamwork and supporting everybody and being the best person, and it didn't matter. It's like you're still going to be on the bench.
Correct.
So. I don't know. I have a hard time saying, like, you can't say this because it's kind of out of bounds. Russell Wilson said the literal perfect answer. And it's like, well, you're still on the bench. Like, I don't know why his comment.
But Shedeur's third string and fighting for his
that's
NFL
life. I don't mind that he feels this way. I just don't like that he said it. Because in his position,
of course, he feels
it doesn't support his case. It doesn't make anyone say, you know what? He's right.
Made me say that.
Yeah, us, but you're not in control of a team that can put him in position to where he feels like he's better than that quarterback.
We scored 13 points against the Packers. We're in it.
No, I'm just saying that's the whole reason they started Flacco to begin with.
I'm done
they
with the Flacco
think they can make.
Okay, but that's fine. But this is the point that it makes it to me the hardest part of it to swallow. If they were done with Joe Flacco today, he's not playing.
Yeah.
He's like he is right. You know what I mean? Like he is third string, and so there is like there is an element of, and I do not think it is a felony. I don't even know if it's a real misdemeanor, but there is an element of a lack of self-awareness. If you're third string to publicly say to a reporter, "I'm better than a lot of team starters."
Yeah.
I just think it's a mistake.
Hey, if you get a chance, check out the YouTube channels. It's just been excellent. And our podcast is steadily climbing. I saw some podcast things, Gianna, the other day. Oh, Spotify ranking.
Yeah, we're crushing.
It was pretty good. It was solid. Check it out. Ravens-Chiefs, first things first, Bowl 3. Because this is such a huge game, we are bringing back a much maligned segment, and because I had to go to the dentist this morning, I missed
That's right.
I got assigned a Monday morning headline that I didn't even want to do. But Nick, you are starting.
I love those highlights.
Okay, can I listen? I need.
It does.
There's very few things that are said on this show that actually bother me. The only ones that do bother me are lies. You talking about me taking my socks off on an airplane, and then you piggybacking on him
I actually
saying
thought
I got highlights put in my hair.
You said you had highlights.
Can we see it again? They do look like it.
It was the Washington Post camera. Doesn't matter. Bruce trying to deflect. We don't need to see it again. Okay, now we're seeing it again.
It looks nice.
It looks
resplendent.
Good. It looks nice. Good.
I don't know
which is very different to how Brew is going to look on Monday.
Oh.
After another hospital ball. BAL. Chiefs continue dominance over Ravens. Nick 3-0 in FDF Bowl. Broussard heads to ER.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
Hospital ball.
I appreciate that.
As you know, I don't like this segment because I don't like puns. So, Dusty, reveal what I went with. Ravens win.
You're the worst, man.
I didn't want to do this.
You are, Brew, before you
That's
go.
That's actually really good.
Do you know how many things on this show other people maybe aren't as enthused about as you are, but we play along because we're professionals.
What?
Weird and Wonderful. Baseball highlights. All
Sorry, are
through
we not
football
league
season.
partners with the Major League Baseball?
We're league partners with our fake newspaper. Let Brew do his thing.
All right, it's the moment you've all been waiting for.
Thank you.
Now, usually, Ravens barbecue Chiefs. Lamar Baltimore feast on the floundering former
like
champs.
a flounder thing, too, right?
Yeah, and the barbecue. I mean, Kansas City's known for its barbecue.
And flounder.
Right? So instead of making a sandwich, they're going to order up some barbecue.
Oh, flounder.
Up in there watching The Wire in the Chiefs' house. That's right.
Overtime. Live from New York. It's a show that is on the eve of the First Things First Bowl 3.
Yeah.
Danny, you and I are almost like on the outside looking in. It's really a grudge match. We're like the WWE managers.
Sure.
Remember that?
Absolutely.
Like Bobby the Brain Heenan. That's me.
I don't know. You're a lot older.
You're Virgil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good
You're
one.
the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that.
Wow.
Today. Parkins debuts 3 new picks. Will he keep the lead?
He doesn't have the lead.
We're tied. But really, I feel like I'm in the lead because of Rams
Both of
Eagles
you
last
guys
week.
feel that way.
He's still crying about a bad beat. That just, what a novice gambler.
It's not crying. It's just an objectively
Still
bad
whining
beat.
about it.
I was on the right side.
Meanwhile, does anyone think that the Packers could actually lose this game in Dallas? And if they did, are we ready to just take them off their high perch?
They're not getting beat.
Okay, well, they did lose to the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland's better than people give them credit for.
I guess so, but only because they beat the Packers.
And a great city.
But right now, we have a brand new segment that's called, we don't have a name for it yet. It's just a lot.
It's a 2-minute drill, isn't it?
2-minute drill, but it's
2-minute drill.
10 minutes long. Ravens Chiefs, First Things First Bowl. Mahomes, a home underdog for the second time this season. Third time ever. How did the first one go? Lost to Josh Allen. How did the second time go? Lost to Jalen Hurts. How's the third time going to go? Nobody knows. Nick, come Monday morning, what do you see happening?
Oh, listen, I think the headline from this game, so I know it's not Thursday at 4:10, but there's a little sports media ombudsman.
Wow.
The media is going to be embarrassed by how they've previewed and covered this game.
That's unlikely.
Entirely, the focus has been about what is at stake for the Kansas City Chiefs. About how the Chiefs, if they fall to 1-3, what does it mean? Are they going to actually miss the playoffs? There's been very little, if any, coverage of, hey, this Ravens team that is S-Bob as much as any team in the league, who came into the year with the most talented roster in football, with the best regular season quarterback in football, that team, they're going to be 1-3 to start the season.
Uh-oh.
And that's what's going to happen. And it's going to feel like late to the party on panic for the Baltimore Ravens.
As by media, do you mean like media that has really cast their lot with the Baltimore?
No, I don't. No, I actually am talking more. I'm talking because Brew hasn't done this. The sports media in general has covered this from a Baltimore will be fine no matter what. We're worried about the Chiefs light, and I think that's been foolish.
I think part of it, Nick, I agree with you. I mean, anybody saying the Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs or in danger that if they lose this game, I think is going too far. But I think, Nick, it's because we just have not seen the Chiefs like this in so long. I know they've had bad stretches at times, but I think it's a higher, like if LeBron averaged 19 this year, people would probably be like, wow, he's really lost it. Whereas
yeah, but what if Steph was averaging 19 as well, and then they're like, what's wrong with LeBron and ignoring Steph?
I think that's what they do. Because LeBron is such a higher perch.
And say if the Chiefs lose this game, they will be in danger of missing the playoffs. Not a guarantee, not picking it, but in danger of. And the reason we're talking about it like this is because the Chiefs are an underdog.
Oh, no, that's not why we're talking about it.
Yes, it is, because they're the one in the midst of a dynasty who's an underdog at home.
Sure. Ravens side. Also wanted to. Lamar said week 1 was a wake-up call, Brew. Also last week was a wake-up call. Running out of wake-up calls. What's your prediction for this game?
Well, Nick likes to come up with his little statements that turn seasons around.
I like
right?
them, actually.
So here, slogans. So I came up with a slogan. I said it yesterday, but the FTF chip will right the ship. They will win the FTF, first things first chip, and this will right the ship. This will get everything. That's all right. I didn't do it for y'all. I did it for them, the Ravens. This will right the ship because you're down because you had 2 bad losses that you really, should have won those games, or certainly the Buffalo game. And the great thing is you get to play a team with mystique and just a historically great team, but they're not that right now. You know what I mean? So you get the benefit of beating the Chiefs and all that comes with it, and they're not the Super Bowl Chiefs. At least they haven't looked like that.
Okay, I buy that.
The thing that I trust most in this game is the Ravens offense. So I don't know if the FTF chip will right the ship. I don't know if that rolls off the tongue, but I'm with you. Ravens win.
Go ahead, kid. No, I feel bad that I would have. If everyone's picking the Ravens, I would have gone with the Chiefs.
No, you.
I don't like you to be all by yourself. It's 2-1.
I like where I'm at, and I also will once again reiterate the point I made before. Everyone, for some reason, has just decided that the 1-2 Ravens, they're just unlucky, and the 1-2 Chiefs are bad. Even though the resumes are, they both have played 2 really good teams. They have lost those games. They both have played 1 awful team. They won that game by double digits. They both had, high expectations going into the year. And for some reason, the team that's accomplished nothing over the last decade is the one with the benefit of the doubt, and the team that's accomplished everything is the one with none of it.
As bad as the Chiefs have played, or as mediocre, they don't have the.
They're not last in anything.
Yeah,
they're not last in anything. Everyone's like, defense.
Ravens.
Who needs that in the NFL?
32 points.
Ravens gave away one of their games.
Chargers at Giants.
The Chiefs had turned it over in the end zone, bro.
Danny Jackson Dart era begins against your guy Justin Herbert, and that Chargers defense. LA favored by 6. What are you expecting from your MVP, Justin Herbert?
That's right. I'm expecting, and they must, they being Herbert and the Chargers, continue to change their narrative. The narrative was the Chargers are going to charger. They're going to figure out a way to lose a game. Last year they start 3-3. They don't even score 20 in any of their losses. Weird injuries, weird coaching decisions. That's hopefully a thing of the past. Since 2015, the Chargers, in terms of losses as a favorite, they are 3rd most in the NFL. This is a game they should win. They've won 3 straight of their division. Herbert's one of the MVP favorites. Just don't have a letdown spot, and I don't think they will.
Well, does that mean they have to rout the Giants?
Just keep winning.
Like if they win like they won last week against Denver, that's
fine.
That wouldn't be that impressive. A rookie quarterback making his debut.
No, but I think that at this point, what's impressive for them so far is 3-0 with 3 wins in the division, and that they already have this gap between them and the Chiefs. So as long as they keep winning and keep it on the tracks, I think they'll be just fine.
I agree with you on that. A catastrophic weekend is the Chiefs beat the Ravens and they give one away to the Giants. And then it's all of a sudden, wait. We had this perfect opening.
Yep.
And this team was in shambles, and now it's a game apart.
You'd be like, what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey!
What's going on?
That's your bit.
But you were like,
I would not
you
be
said,
like
wait.
that. No.
What's going?
No, that's not my thing.
That would be amazing.
I'd love to play along with you, but that's not what I would be saying.
What's going on?
I would be saying what's going on.
Listen, I am of the belief that at the end of the year, the Giants are going to be considered a really good defense. I know right now they don't have the profile of it. They gave up 1,000 yards to the Cowboys. But so I think the Giants are, I don't know what Jackson Dart's going to do. But if Jackson Dart just gives them the 20th best quarterbacking of this weekend, then they're live to be in this game.
Interesting. All right, moving on. Colts, Rams. Danny Dimes, undefeated. Good test to see if this Colts team is for real. Greg Jennings, upset alert pick. Rams coming off a heartbreaking loss, shut out in the second half to the Eagles. Is this a bounce-back game for Stafford?
Yeah, Stafford and the Rams in the Colts storybook September before September's over. We've gotten a bit far enough, and I am happy that Daniel Jones is getting this moment, and also I probably was a little too harsh on Shane Steichen going into the year because I'm going to get there. He has gotten competent, overall results. Yep. Despite incompetent quarterbacking. Yeah. But they're not a 4-0 team. They're just not. And I'm glad they beat the Broncos because I'm fading the Broncos this year. That game could have gone another way. They have been right there. I think the Rams are a step up in competition for them. I think the Rams, it makes a lot more sense for the Rams to be 3-1 than the Colts 4-0. So I think the Stafford and the Rams end it.
You had the Colts as picking first in the upcoming
I said it was on the board. I said it was on the board. They'd be the worst team in the league.
And I had the Colts winning the AFC South, so that's a point for this side of the table.
Well, so far, early.
Yeah,
it's early.
3-0. I would just say the Colts are live in this game. They 3-0, yeah, they beat the Titans, the Dolphins, and the Broncos. The Broncos defense is comparable to the Rams defense. Both consider themselves top 5 defenses. The Colts put up nearly 500 yards on Denver. The Colts offense has been excellent so far. So I think the Colts are going to be in this one in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, look, I would love to see the Colts beat everybody's All-American in the Rams. I would love to see that. I feel like the Rams are going to win this game. But if the Colts win it, they put everybody on notice. And we have to say this, and Danny, you saw it, they have had good players around their quarterback. They just haven't had even decent quarterback play, and now they're getting good quarterback play. And if they win this game, though, they're legit.
If they win this game, you know what we're going to see? A little bit of the Naptown chant.
Oh, that's right.
A little bit.
Christina, get the button ready.
Oh, Naptown.
Look, we don't think the Pacers are going to do much, but
it also is really important. The Rams, the Niners are undefeated. The Seahawks are now 3-1. It's also just important for the Rams to keep pace in this NFC West.
No question.
That everybody wins.
Yeah. Moving on. Champs, Eagles in Tampa Bay. This is a game on Fox. First matchup ever between two 3-0 teams where all 6 games, Brew, were won by 1 score. What's hitting your radar?
Well, it's what Nick and Danny have been clamoring for. Jalen and the Birds take flight. Oh. So I do think they will go out and throw the football more. They're not going to get crazy. He's not going to throw it 35 to 40 times. But I do think that they will come out and get A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith going early. That'll open things up for Saquon. And I see a really good performance from Jalen Hurts and the Eagles in this one. They want to win this game. And I get it, the Bucs are banged up. But, they've beaten them the last 2 times. They want to put that noise to rest, so they're going to have a great outing.
Brew, I wasn't a receiver like you. I did not cover the NBA for decades. But what's the old adage in basketball? Big man runs the floor.
Yeah, you got to repay him.
You got to give him a touch.
Yep.
This is rudimentary football analysis. Give A.J. Brown a touch. He's really good. I don't think that's disrespectful to Jalen Hurts or Saquon Barkley, or it means he can't throw, or I hate the tush. But it's just if you have a top 3 wide receiver duo in the NFL, use them.
Yeah, and if they don't, to start, if they don't in the opening script this week have a more wide receiver centric game plan, then something's going on. Like that,
Yeah, you're not asking for 12 passes.
Correct.
But
And I'm just asking for the Eagles to have a game plan of the league's 9th most conservative team. You know what I mean? Not number 1 with a bullet, because last week's game plan didn't work. The game worked, but you know what I mean? The opening script game plan. And Jalen and AJ, who are 2 of your 3 most talented offensive players, maybe your 2 or your 3 most talented overall players, would like you to do it. And I sneaky wonder if Saquon would too. Yeah. If Saquon would like to have a week where it's I'm not the focal point. I can take a deep breath.
It'd be weird if, and I don't want this to happen, if A.J. Brown and Devontae got the flu just for 20, and they were unavailable in the game, and then the game plan didn't change.
Correct.
Like, well, we're fine. We're on the ball. Where are we? Bears, Raiders. Caleb, fresh off of an Offensive Player of the Week award that he didn't even celebrate. Did you hear this?
Yeah.
What a guy.
I was thinking about bringing that back.
Oh,
I liked it so much.
Raiders are home underdogs. Danny, how confident are you in Ben Johnson and Caleb?
I'm very confident. And I would just like to say, don't shake your head quite yet, Brew. Don't let Caleb and the Bears get hot now. One turns into two turns into a bye week, and then look at the schedule. All of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, the NFC North is such a tough schedule. Bears, such a tough schedule. Commanders are hurt. They'd be coming off a game against the Chargers. Bears would have an extra week to prepare. Saints at home. At Baltimore, it's going to be a tough game. Cincy, Jake Browning. Giants at home. Jackson. Don't let Caleb, who's been great in his last 10 games, 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, don't all of a sudden let Caleb and the Bears get hot heading into the bye. They'll be right back in everyone's playoff picture.
Well, listen, that schedule is
Favorable.
Yeah, favorable.
And before
for
the
sure.
year, people thought it was tough because
but it ends brutal. Oh, they thought this stretch was tough because Cincy in
Yeah.
particular. That's fair.
And Washington.
Washington, exactly.
And by the way, Jaden Daniels already ruled out this week. That's
and McLaurin.
And McLaurin, so that is concerning for them. I think your point about the Bears having a bye and the Commanders having that really physical Chargers defense plays into it as well. This is what I'll say about this game. Because I have both these teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're not a Caleb guy. I'm not even going to allow it.
Hold on. I'm obviously a Caleb guy.
He is a Caleb.
I'm not the Caleb guy. I'm a Caleb guy.
Fair.
But what I will say is this. It's going to be hard for me at the quarter pole of the season to find whoever loses this game finding their way back into the playoff picture.
Interesting.
So I don't want to have to write off. I had them both in.
Were you rooting for a tie?
I had them both, kind of.
Oh.
I had them both in, and I'm a little concerned because one of them is about to be 1-3, despite a soft early part of the schedule.
Look, I had I was correct about the Raiders and Ashton Genty struggling, but the Bears I did have in the playoffs, so I wouldn't mind seeing them win, Danny. I do though think you're discounting the Cowboy bump.
Yes.
You know, we saw Russell Wilson from week to week what he looked like after playing the Cowboys. So just don't be I don't want you to be crestfallen if Caleb comes back to earth.
I appreciate you looking out.
Speaking of the Cowboys, Micah back in Dallas. That storyline has dominated the headlines. But Jordan Love has been excellent when he plays the Cowboys. Brew, what are you expecting from him?
J-Lo, J-Go.
I like that.
What's J-Go mean, bro?
Go deep.
Oh, thanks.
Go deep. Just go deep. I mean, that's what you saw what happened with the Giants when they went deep. J-Lo will once again make himself at home in Jerry World. He loves Jerry World. Last time he was there, underdog, young boy, hadn't been in the playoffs ever. And with a young team, goes out there and throws for almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns in a shocking win. And he is going to go out there, no pressure on him. Great place to be coming off a bad performance against Cleveland with at least the interception. And he wants to get right, and he will because the Cowboys are just what the doctor ordered. So J-Lo is J-Go and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you were just talking about the Cowboys bump that Caleb got. This Packers team, obviously, more experienced, very talented. I think across the board, we'd be shocked if this game was close in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Right?
And it's worse for the Cowboys because I think the Packers lost last week. Now they are
totally agree.
right.
Sure.
They are totally focused.
Well, and they'll be locked in for Micah.
Yeah.
There's no way there's going to be a letdown spot here for Green Bay. This feels like it could get ugly fast.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was ask you a question.
Me or Dan?
You.
Yeah.
Because you've got your finger on the pulse of sports media as a sports media ombudsman.
Sports media ombudsman. It's part of my job. Heavy is the head.
I'm looking around and certainly someone's picking the Cowboys, just even for the take equity.
No.
I can't find it. But this line is not Saints.
Oh, right.
No.
And I know it's on the road, but I really can't find anyone, and that starts to send my alarm bells off that it's just, we're treating this like there's no path forward at all.
Which is why,
it's weird.
and so I understand that typically would also make me worried. However, in this instance, I'm just telling gamblers of America, You don't have to bet the Packers -7.
You gotta tease them.
But if you have a 6-point teaser involved this weekend and the Packers aren't a leg of it, what the hell are you even gambling for? I'm just telling you right now. And I think Jerry is actively okay. Sorry, I gotta be quiet. We're gonna talk about the main event. Oh my goodness.
We thought it was going to be Prince versus Mac Jones, but then Mac Jones got banged up. But guess who is back?
Brock. They said Brock.
Is it official?
No, Shanahan said he's expected to play.
Yeah.
What do you need to see from Brock or the Jags, whoever you're more fond of, Nick?
Well, we know.
Dealer's choice.
All right, Trevor. Fair is fair. What do they call me, KW?
Mr. Consistency.
You know what they also call me? The Mayor of Fair.
That's not true.
That is true. Trevor's got to look like a true prince against this Niners defense. He has to.
It's been a while.
It's correct.
A long while.
If he was playing B-level football, they'd be an easy 3-0 and a scary team. That D-line's been really good. They have not yet unlocked Travis Hunter. I'll see if they do. And Brian Thomas Jr. hasn't played great, and they still are winning. Trevor has been bad on third down. He's been bad in the red zone. I have to be fair. You're now playing a banged-up Niners defense. First game back for Purdy. This is kind of like the first things first undercard because.
I thought that was last.
That is real because
for real.
This could be a complete sea change for Nick Wright. I mean, Nick loves the guys that are great in high school. Purdy was, I think, a 3-star recruit.
I thought that seems high.
And obviously, Trevor was Gatorade Player of the Year. Everybody's All-American and all that, right?
Everyone's All-American.
And Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. And right now, people feel like Purdy's the better quarterback.
Well, that's a little.
No, but he's higher on your tiers.
I would have Purdy above Trevor Lawrence.
People have him ranked above Trevor Lawrence. So.
The last time Trevor Lawrence had 250 yards and a win was week 5 of last year.
Undefeated. Easy schedule.
I actually think, though, the Jags could win, regardless of the quarterback. Like, I almost made this my upset alert.
We got to go across the pond for our final one. First game, 9:30 a.m., Vikings at Steelers in Dublin. Danny, what do you want to see from Aaron Rodgers in this game?
Aaron Rodgers has 2 objectives in this game. 1A, stay healthy. 1B, win. And in that order. Because if the Steelers win, but Rodgers is hurt, the season's over. If they lose, wait, did I do that wrong?
No, you got it right.
I got that right.
Yeah.
But if he comes out of this one healthy and they lose, they're okay. Like the Brian Flores is going to blitz, and blitz some more. They're 7th highest in blitz rate, 4th in pressure percentage. Rodgers was not sacked last week, but sacked 7 times in the first 2 games.
He wasn't sacked last week because he's getting rid of the ball.
Well, I know.
He would have been better off sitting there. And, I think they had 203 total yards. If you get to him, he's out.
Well, he got hit way too much in the first 2 games. That was just not sustainable for a guy in his 40s. So I don't think he's going to stand in the pocket.
I agree. And to add to this, because I think it's a great take, Arthur Smith needs to know that too. That this needs to be a run-heavy game plan.
Yeah.
That you need to, or max protect. This could be a season ender for them.
Man.
And I'm legit because of what I saw them do to Jake Browning, and I don't think Rodgers is more mobile than Jake Browning at this point.
You got to pick in this one, Brew. We got to go.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
Wow. Did you not see Nick's picks? Vikings -2.5.
Coming up next, Parkins Picks.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Love it. What do we got for Caleb? Best of luck as you're knotted up with Nick Wright.
By the way, I have a 3-0 weekend.
First things first.
3-0 weekend.
We'll go 6-0 between the 2 of us, except one of mine's against yours. I am seeing the NFL very clearly. This is the official pick segment. I plug into the matrix. I see the league clearly. I'm not going to let 3-0 change me. I'm not scared of picking big games, taking the points with Detroit. Play in the wood with the Chicago Bears. Easy, easier, and easiest. I know that I'm right. Time now for the most profitable pick segment in all of the land. And I would love to say that I have the nicest chain on the desk, but Teron Armstead decided to come out here. 12 years in the NFL. Oh. I guess that's a little better than 65% in 1 week. It's still nice, though. It's still nice. Yeah, thank you.
It's actually cute.
His is nice?
Yeah, his is nice.
Well, wow. I can't be humble when I went 65% against the spread of the NFL. Last week was a little rough. but only because of the worst beat we will have all year. Jordan Davis, you already blocked the kick. Just go down. And the Rams cover. And it would have been another 2 in 1 week. Why is the guy running? He's 1,000 pounds. And he's taking it all the way to the house. It was very disrespectful to all of the Rams bettors out there. That should have been a 2 in 1 week. But alas, even with the worst beat we'll have all year, we're still fine. We're still 5-4. I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm here to go 3-0 in this great, glorious sports weekend. Up first, the Bears getting points in Vegas. Well, they say the Cowboys' defense was bad, and that's the only reason that the Bears were able to perform and have a good offense. Well, I see your Cowboys defense, and I raise you the Raiders defense of the last 2 weeks. Yikes. 30 points per game allowed, 6.5 yards per play, not pressuring the other team's quarterback. Very Cowboys-esque if you ask me. Oh, but Danny, Caleb Williams, he's just a bum slayer. Oh, I don't know. How about his last 10 games? 18 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a passer rating of nearly 100, 6th best touchdown to interception ratio in that span with guys like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson in front of him. Caleb Williams has been playing well. I feel like I'm the only person who noticed. Wrong team favorite alert. Bears plus 1.5. Speaking of big games, first things first, Bowl. Ravens minus 2.5 in Kansas City. The Chiefs will be fine. They are just not fine now. Then you come into a game and you've got questions about the Chiefs offense, the Chiefs defense, and the Ravens defense. Which thing did I leave out there? Oh, the Ravens offense. The Ravens offensive ranks compared to the Chiefs offensive ranks, I just simply do not think the Chiefs can keep up in this game. It's that simple. So the Ravens will cover 2.5 points because they're going to hang 27 on the board. Do we honestly feel confident that a Chiefs team is ready to put 30 points up on Baltimore based on what we've seen from them this year? I'm not talking about championship pedigree. I'm not talking about 5 years ago. I'm talking about what we're seeing from the Chiefs right now. They're not prepared to win a shootout. Last but not least, it's a big number, but I'll lay it happily. Packers minus 7 in Dallas. And people want to just talk about this Cowboys defense. Well, I'm here to tell you, Matt LaFleur against Matt Eberflus's defense, even more lopsided. And my sample size, pretty significant. Going back to 2019, the Packers have won 12 of 13 games against Matt Eberflus. So you got Micah Parsons' revenge. You've got no CeeDee Lamb. You've got the Packers coming off of a loss, and you have a tremendous coaching advantage with Matt LaFleur over Matt Eberflus. This game will not be in doubt in the fourth quarter. Packers win this one going away. So to recap, Packers minus 7, Ravens minus 2.5, Bears plus 1.5. I believe, Tehran, that is a 3-0 week.
I'm with you.
With me? I knew I liked it. You want to trade trains?
No, I'm not going
to. You're good on that? All right.
Look, I like the Bears. I like the Bears pick. I'm with you there. I like the Bears picking.
You're not with me on your Packers?
Well, I'm with you on the Packers, clearly, but
okay.
that Bears pick is nice. I think they found their footing. They had the game that they needed to have against the Dallas Cowboys. Offensively, I think where we're starting to see the one underrated thing that you highlighted is that Caleb doesn't turn the ball over.
He does not. He takes sacks, but he doesn't turn the ball over.
And that's huge when you're going up against a defense that you know you can be productive against and you can put up points. So I like the Bears in that one.
All right, 3-0 weekend. You guys call me if you need any more winners. It's not a problem.
My favorite was that Ravens pick.
Yeah?
You were cooking, Danny. Like I'm saying, I'm with you all three. But the Ravens pick, I think the Ravens have so much to prove right now, more than the Chiefs. You said the Chiefs will be fine. I agree with that too. The Ravens defense, it's time for those guys to step up and make a statement. Seriously, they got a ton of all-pros over there. It's time for those all-pros to play like all-pros.
Yeah, last week was a weird game for all the talent that they have out there.
They were dominated.
Yeah.
Dominated. And you see that your best players, Kyle Hamilton, we haven't seen him in his production, blitzing the passer. Baltimore's defense is known for those exotic looks, to be able to confuse a quarterback. I want to see them go up there and get Patrick Mahomes a couple of times. Confuse him, let Marlon Humphreys, Jair Alexander, let those guys cover. Justin Matabike, Roquan Smith, all those all-pros need to play like all-pros.
We're going to get more into that game a little bit later, but let's focus in on my last pick there, the game with Green Bay and Dallas. Micah Parsons' much anticipated return. Micah said Tuesday that it's going to be painful to sack his former teammate, Dak Prescott. I did not believe him. Dak responded yesterday telling Calvin Watkins of the Dallas Morning News, it's the business of it. At the end of the day, it's not Dak versus Micah. Those are never the headlines and never can be. This is the Dallas Cowboys against the Green Bay Packers, and we've got to go get a win. So the question here is, how much would your faith in the Packers waver if they actually did lose this game as a touchdown favorite in Dallas, Greg?
Well, my faith wouldn't waver, but I would start to look at what's going on. I would start to kind of question what's going on. And obviously, if they are to lose this game, it would probably have something to do with their lack of offensive production, whether that be in the run game, whether that be Jordan Love turning the ball over or not getting the receivers the ball. And then I would start to look at their head coach. Like, you got to figure it out with your young quarterback, your quarterback that you've paid, that you said that everybody believes has the goods to allow this team to be very productive. And with what we've seen the Dallas Cowboys allow with lesser talented offensive units, you just, again, my faith wouldn't be wavered, but it would be a very bad loss.
What about you?
They're not going to lose.
Okay.
They're not going to lose.
A stack on it.
that Packers defense, they're going to look to suffocate Dallas. Not just Micah, but the response from last week, the way they performed last week, although it came in an L, that defense is looking to suffocate that Dallas offense. They're having trouble protecting Dak up front. Green Bay has been getting after that, and Micah Parsons is looking like 1A or 1B. Him, Myles Garrett, as the best pure pass rusher in the league. They're not losing this game.
Yeah, and the thing too, like, sometimes you guys have told me, I've talked to enough players, like, the occasional letdown game is real.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine a world where the Packers have a letdown game in this spot, given that they lost last week and they know that Micah Parsons needs to show out for all of those personal reasons. Like, I got to imagine we're going to get the best version of the Packers.
Yeah, and we should. We should. And you notice, T, like, every game takes on its own world. Like, just because we've seen a version of the Dallas Cowboys doesn't mean that that's what the Packers are going to get come Sunday night. Now, I do believe that the Dallas Cowboys are going to fight because of that guy that's on our screen in Micah Parsons. They're not going to want him to have the return that we all are kind of hoping to see. And so with that being said, they might press. So it might murky the waters a little bit and allow the Dallas Cowboys to stay in the game and then have a shot at the end. But ultimately, this is a game that they should not lose.
Reputationally, it also feels like if Green Bay does lose this game, it's like, wait, you lost to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then you lose as a touchdown favorite when the whole world is watching you on Sunday night. Seriously, like, this team became everyone's Super Bowl pick after the Micah Parsons trade. And now it'd be like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
You're the same. Like, you can beat anybody on a given day, but you can lose to anyone on a given day. Like, that's not a recipe for a champion.
Yeah, I'm guilty. Listen, they became my favorite.
Really?
Really quick. What they did to Detroit week 1 and to follow it up in Washington, they became my favorite. So I'm guilty.
As they should have.
G, you know, a trap game is real. They dropped that game against Cleveland, a game that you feel like you feel very strongly you should win. So a trap game is real. It happens to all the great teams. It happens. I can't see it happening 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, I cannot imagine a bigger step down than going against that Cleveland pass rush and defensive line, and then going up against a Micah Parsons-less Dallas Cowboys pass rush and defensive line, right? It's going to just, I would imagine this is going to feel very easy for the Packers offense in this spot. Yeah, you're getting a little nervous over there.
No DeMarcus.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah, no DeMarcus Lawrence either. Exactly right. All right, first things first, Bull. Nick is offended, but he's not out here. The chances of Lamar outplaying Pat Mahomes coming up. All right, let's head back to Kansas City. First things first, Bull. Ravens, 2.5-point favorites. What? In Kansas City. Chiefs are 1-2. Ravens in the Lamar Jackson-led offense have been one of the best in the NFL this season. Here is future Hall of Famer Chris Jones on the challenge the Ravens offense presents.
Any play in the game, he can change the dynamic of it. So, you know, with him, it's always tough to play against Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens. You know, stopping Lamar is one thing, trying to contain him is another. I think he should have won MVP last year. Have so much respect for him.
Little drive-by there at Josh Allen by Chris Jones. Yeah. It's not terribly subtle by Chris at all. So chances that Lamar outplays Mahomes, and I know that this offends Nick, and he will show you the box scores of the previous games that these teams have played, and he will talk about, well, it's never happened and all of that. The problem with that is I don't think that when these guys played in 2021 that it's terribly relevant for this game we're about to see, right? Same uniform, same player, but playing very differently. Mm-hmm. And if you want to go back 2 years, Lamar Jackson in the regular season, and this is a regular season game last time I checked, has just been more productive than Mahomes. It does not mean that I think he is better than Mahomes. It does not mean that I would trust him in a playoff game more than Mahomes. But for a game in September, Lamar Jackson has just consistently been the better regular season player. So I expect Lamar Jackson, and I know you're with me based on what you said with my picks earlier, but I expect Lamar to outplay Patrick on Sunday.
Same. That's not surprising to me at all. Just head to head, I definitely expect Lamar to outperform Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is struggling right now. Lack of weapons, dealing with injuries and the suspension. Travis Kelce hasn't really been the Travis Kelce that we know historically. So the Ravens offense has been lighting it up. That's not a question with this Ravens team. That's not the reason they're sitting here at 1-2. It's the defensive side of the ball that's the issue. But just head to head, I got Lamar Jackson for sure.
So I have Lamar outplaying Mahomes in this game too. But when I watch this game, if Kansas City, if they are to win, it will be because Mahomes outplays Lamar Jackson. And he has to in order for his team to win because he's going into this fight with less. Like when you look at what Mahomes does not have, you look across the field, and Lamar has it all. And on top of the fact that he is still Lamar Jackson, and you put those numbers up and his efficiency and how he's playing, he's been spectacular. So I do expect Lamar to have the better game this Sunday. However, in order for the Chiefs to win, Patrick Mahomes cannot allow that to happen.
And we've seen it before, Greg. To your point, we have seen Mahomes' heroics. We've seen him be Superman and create when things aren't there. So it's possible for sure. Probability, I'm going with Lamar. As you just spoke, the weapons. Derrick Henry is upset. He's pissed off with his performance. The
fumbles.
Fumbling the ball. Yeah. So Lamar will have the ability to turn around and hand him the ball 30 times in this game. Head to head, I think Lamar will be able to make more plays. He has more playmakers to do so. And I got the Ravens.
Listen, I get it. And I've been guilty of it too. Yeah, but it's the Chiefs. Yeah. Like it's kind of like it's like the wild card. It's the free space in NFL analysis. Yeah, the Chiefs, and because they always end up in the AFC Championship game, they always end up at the Super. Oh, they have all these injuries, or they have these drops, or they have these suspensions. Like it's a reasonable point to make. I just think this is too much too soon for them on Sunday on the offensive side of the ball. Let's talk 3-0 teams here: Eagles and Bucs on Fox. Eagles coming off of a huge second-half comeback over the Rams. Bucs have had late fourth-quarter comebacks 3 games in a row. Nick Sirianni, Eagles coach, spoke to the media about where the Eagles go from here. Take a listen.
Every game and every situation and every scenario presents different problems, different things. We always want to be on the attack mode as an offense. And so, again, we'll do whatever we need to do to win each and every game.
Guys, what's more likely here? Eagles blowout or Bucs upset?
You guys might be shocked by this, but Bucs upset for me. Like, I just don't think the way that the Eagles want to win is going to be with Jalen Hurts throwing the ball, blowing teams out. Like, they don't care. I love what Nick Sirianni said. Like, stand on the business and the identity of who we've been. And who we've been is we're going to throw the ball about 25 times. We're going to run the ball 30 to 35 times. And whatever we need to do to eke out a win, we'll do that. But the Bucs, with this guy named Baker Mayfield right now,
yeah, man,
he doesn't care who's coming out the locker room with him. Hey, I got you. Whatever we need, I'll finish the game. I just need you guys to participate for what? The first half, second half, fourth quarter, I got you. Last drive, I got you. Like, this has been something that I think is understated when we look at Baker Mayfield and what he's been able to do this season. I don't know if there's a quarterback that's playing with more confidence, and he has less right now. He doesn't have all of his guys out there with him, and he's going to get that down the season. But right now, I just feel like they can still upset this Eagles team because of how we've been seeing the Eagles play.
I'm going to stay right in that pocket, G. It's less about the Eagles and what the Bucs are doing and who the Bucs are forming themselves to be. They're a formidable opponent. I don't even think it's an upset, them coming out with a win. Baker Mayfield is an MVP candidate.
Yes, he is.
He's playing that way. He's playing that well. He's really decisive. In the fourth quarter and 2-minute drives to go take the lead or tie the game, he has been incredible. Creating when it's not there. The offensive line has had its struggles with injuries. It hasn't bothered this man much. It hasn't. And on defense, they're very sure of themselves. Ty Bowles know exactly what they want to do, the challenges they present. They are a very physical team in the trenches, built the same as the Eagles. I think these two teams have more similarities than differences.
So listen, I think you guys are actually objectively correct. Tampa's a 3.5-point underdog. So it's not Tampa wins by 1. That have 3.5-point underdogs win all the time. Like you said, you don't even consider it an upset, even if it is technically, according to the Vegas spread. So I am with you guys. That is more likely. The thing that would surprise me a little bit if Tampa did win the game, though, so I'll just make the case for the Eagles side of it. Tampa hasn't been blown out, we'll define it by a loss by more than 10 points, since week 3 of last year. They are remarkable. They are very consistent. But in this spot, with their injuries on the offensive line, and with Mike Evans out, Godwin is coming back, but we don't know exactly, is he going to be on a pitch count, anything like that? And if Philly is going to start being pass first, even if it's just to prove a point, even if it's just to make A.J. Brown happy, it's not who you play, but when you play them. If Philly's coming out throwing and Tampa is injured, that does at least give me a little bit more of maybe the Eagles do put a big number on the board.
See, they're clearly capable of putting a big number up, but conversely,
you just think Tampa would then keep up?
I think they will keep up.
Sure.
I don't believe this is not the Eagles' defense of last year, where they're just stifling and you can't put up points on this team. You can put up points on this team, and they have injuries or they have not as great playmaking ability on the back end consistently across the board. And Baker Mayfield has taken advantage of that. He has a young receiver that he trusts, that understands how to get open, that he relies on heavily.
Ibuka's looked great.
He's looked phenomenal. He doesn't look like a rookie, really, and it is week 4. That's where they have been working together. He trusts him. If the Eagles get the running game going, then I might scratch my head a little bit.
Well, if you pass the ball, maybe that would help the running game.
Maybe, but I
didn't play like you guys.
I don't think they're going to do that.
It's hard to run the ball on Tampa.
Yes, it is.
It's hard to run the ball. Yeah, and it's hard for me to talk well about Tampa as a Saint for 10 years.
Yeah, I understand. You're doing a really good job, though. See if Aaron Rodgers can survive this game against the Vikings next. All right, so they're going over to Dublin. They're already there. Steelers are taking on the Vikings, 2.5-point underdogs. Rodgers and the Steelers won last week, but it was not a pretty offensive performance, to put it mildly. Here's Aaron Rodgers ahead of the Week 4 matchup.
I can play better, for sure. It's just about sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you and be comfortable with that. Some of our best plays is just getting the ball into our playmakers' hands and letting them go. So I just need to be disciplined like I usually am and get the ball to guys.
Greg, you played with Aaron Rodgers. Teron, you blocked for Drew Brees when he was on the other side of 40. What does success look like for Rodgers in this spot?
I think this situation with Rodgers is different than Drew. Drew was really, really limited physically at his later part of his career. He was dealing with a torn labrum, meniscus tear, plantar fascia. He had real issues physically. I don't see those same issues with Aaron Rodgers. He can still physically do everything. We've seen him, he's throwing bombs and all those things. It's just, I'm having a real tough time understanding his inconsistency. We saw him week 1, and that's what we want to see from Aaron Rodgers. We want to see him light it up, 4 touchdowns, no turnovers. And then you see him last week, and it's a head scratcher. I don't really understand it.
I'm with him. Everything that he said, he's right. He has to get the ball out of his hands. He doesn't have the mobility that he once had. And we know he can be accurate. He has the arm strength, all the things. Get the ball. Use your help.
I'll just say this. Enjoy this incredible sports weekend. Ryder Cup, college football slate, NFL started at 9:30 in the morning. Oh, we're gambling all weekend, baby. Talk to you on Monday.